welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A good Monday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout, which is presented by Hoots Hard Ice Tea, a Boulder real brewed tea. Don't just give a hoot, give two. Didn't have the camera set up, so we have an empty chair just on the shot right now, which is not exactly the best. There we go, live on YouTube. Matt Iwanyk with you here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in iHeartRadio as well as on YouTube. Murray McCourt from the VIP Golf Show with us, as well as Don Ellis, a friend of EST and Contemporary Office Interiors. They helped us out with all of our stuff once we got going. Beautiful stuff. I do highly recommend checking them out. Boys, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, happy to be here as always.
You betcha. Happy to be here.
You got that the Messier Oiler jersey going on today. Signed
got to
in the
represent
back.
some old school. My daughter took my Connor McDavid jersey to school today, so what are you gonna do? How to dig deep in the closet?
What a tough one to go to.
Yeah.
You know, Mark
slum
Messier.
it to Mark Messier.
Yeah, slum it down.
Poor
Slum
guy.
it down.
Yeah, that's that's a good one, no question. We already got some info.
Well, no, from completely different sport.
Oh.
But there was supposed to be some sort of news today, and now maybe this is what's coming out. Matthew in the Nasty Chat saying big shakeup in the curling word Botcher coaching Team Homan maybe.
Well, they're really good buddies. Botcher and Holman are really good buddies. I was with Karik Martin on Saturday at the football game. We were talking about that, and Rach is actually going to not curl in mixed doubles next year to focus on her regular team and get away from that. And we were talking about Botch and her maybe teaming up in doubles, but he said neither of them can sweep, so they would be a terrible team in mixed doubles together. But Botch has taken the year off. There was big rumors that Botch was going to join Karik's team with Team Cooey, and that would have been an interesting dynamic, Botch and Cooey on the same team, but ended up not happening. But there's
Coaching.
But coaching, yeah.
It's a pretty good coach to have, I would say, if you're looking for some just insight. Hey, what should we do here? It's a Canadian champion is pretty nice to have, I would say. That's kind of in his prime.
Well, absolutely. It's just crazy that he's going to take the year off and not curl himself. But him and Rach, like I said.
Well, he got basically kicked off his team, it sounds like. And you're in the Olympic cycle, so it's too hard to, I think, find a new team. Unless you start from scratch from somewhere.
It was there. He was going to, I actually was told it was happening, that he was going to be joining Team Cooey, and they were just sorting out who was going to skip between him and Botch. And anyways, didn't work itself out. Carruthers, too, was in the mix of joining Team Cooey.
They get the curling insider right here.
I thought he was a golf expert, but he's got it all.
I got a lot of friends in a lot of sports, so I get to hear a lot of stuff.
You a curling guy at all? Do you enjoy watching it at all, or
No.
Okay.
My dad curled a lot. He was a really good curler, and I used to get dragged out to watch him sometimes. But I used to watch, the Briar. Or, there was one big annual event really, and now it seems there's curling every week. So I don't.
Well, and there's a big one this year at Nisku. There's a Grand Slam at Nisku. Yeah. That's going to be fun.
It's
a beautiful facility out there.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but
really
that's great.
It's one of those that I do know the Grand Slams, and I'll throw it on if it's on, and I don't see anything else. But Briar and Scotty's weeks are just the two best weeks. To me, and with some of my buddies and stuff, it's kind of the launch of spring. Because Super Bowl ends, it's like, okay, we got to get through February, and that comes up. Then it's spring training, and you're getting to March Madness. Then you get to Augusta and the Masters, and it's springtime.
I'm with you. My wife's from Saskatchewan, so if there's any Saskatchewan team in curling, any event, it's on. It's on in the house.
You should have seen when the Briar week was on and the Hangout. I'd have to kick Iwanyk once in a while because he'd be too focused on watching curling on his laptop in here.
There's not a lot of sports that bring the laptop in for it. We've done it for F1 so far. We've done it for March Madness. We've done it for curling. We will do it for the big soccer tournaments when they get going.
You didn't for Masters? You were
we did for the Masters.
Guy.
Yeah, we did it for the Masters. Didn't do it for any of the World Hockey Championships.
Well,
who
picked that final? Czechia and Switzerland in the final.
Switzerland has become a bit of a hockey nation. Ever since Ralph Kruger took over and they pushed Canada, I think it went back all the way in 2010 at the Olympics. They went to a shootout with
Is
Canada.
Kruger coaching them now?
No, but like he started that. He was
Yeah.
the coach, and since then, Switzerland has actually become a nation to really respect and have to focus on. When you're focusing for any of the nations, when you're going up against them, they've proven to actually build a nice little hockey program out there.
Well, a lot of pros go over there to play after as
Yeah.
well, right? So it's good for them. It's nice to see someone else win it for a change.
Well, they clearly got some depth. Philip Kurashev was a healthy scratch the last 2 or 3 games for Switzerland. If he's a healthy scratch, they got some pretty good depth.
Lots to get to on the show today. We will get to Oilers Game 3 tonight. Oilers taking on the Stars down at Rogers Place. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows live right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. 5 o'clock, Tommy Hudson's White Ave. So we got to get to that. We have the $100,000 hole-in-one contest presented by Golf Town. That will take place July 3rd at the Ranch Golf and Country Club. We've got to start the qualifying for that today. We've got a big event with Kids Sport coming up in June that we need to discuss that's featuring Dusty and Ryan Rashog. There's a lot to get to as well, plus a qualifying opportunity for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. We're giving away a VIP table to Kevin Hart's on the night that he's headlining, which is the Saturday. We gave away the grand prize draw on Friday to the Friday show. So now over the next 3 weeks, we'll do a grand prize draw for the Saturday show. But let's get into the Oilers discussion. This is Hangout Headlines brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club, offering premier conditions, top-notch service, unmatched value. The Ranch Golf would be your choice for any round this golf season. Book your tee time at theranchgolf.com. Today's going to be a gorgeous day to go golfing. If you're not too into the hockey game tonight, there might be some openings at about 6 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock.
Oh, we have our men's league opening.
Oh, do you have men's league
shotgun tonight? So there's no tee times available.
Never mind. Good
But
thing we have Murray here.
Saturday, 4 o'clock on, there was not one single tee time at the ranch. I got to send the Oilers an invoice for all the lost revenue when they're doing well here. It's not good.
Got to be one of the few businesses that
Yeah.
hurts when the Oilers are.
Absolutely, it's not good.
Because then, like people like Pro Am Sports or the bars, they do better.
Absolutely.
When the Oilers are going further.
Yeah, our beer league hockey teams had some issues with those Tuesday games because trying to get guys out. Oilers
It's
are
not going to
on.
happen. Hey?
No.
How many people do you think you're going to be at men's league tonight?
A lot, because the men's league opening, $10,000-$12,000 in prizes getting given out. So
Okay.
yeah,
Sweet.
And so we're gonna have a watch party in the afterwards for probably the third period when they all get in. So it'll work out just fine tonight.
The big period for that. Oilers are on the ice, not on the optional skate today. Mediavale's 9:30 today. That's where Tommy is. So we'll keep you up to date. Because Darren Drager on the morning show today saying Adam Henrik's going to get in. We'll discuss that momentarily here. But Quinn Phillips in the Nasty Chat saying, just letting everyone know that I emceed the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony Friday night. Ken Hitchcock was inducted, and the big question was, quote, who is he cheering for this series? He said, quote, I know everyone wants to know who I'm cheering for. All I will say is that the Oilers will win.
Oh wow!
So
boy.
He did
Ken
say that
Hitchcock.
while he was in Alberta. If he was at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, I wonder what his answer would have been.
I don't think anyone would have asked him that if he was at the Texas Sports Hall of
fair.
Fame, as if they cared.
Get him out to the ranch for a little hot stove. I can listen. He's got some funny stories
I bet.
about Lindros and stuff. Unbelievable guy.
But for that whole period of time, just absolutely hated back in the heyday when the Oilers and Stars were going up against it. Okay, you guys are Chris Knobloch. Adam Henrik's coming in. Who's coming out?
I heard Perry's coming back in, right? Somebody
don't think
said
so.
that.
Well, that's the other question is, does Corey Perry draw back into this lineup? Is he a player that you need?
I hope they don't take Ryan out. I liked him. You know, we got that speedy third line, and I've heard a little bit of chat that they want to make it a little more gritty. So I don't know. That's a tough call.
Yeah. Well, for me, the way that they handled Stuart Skinner, took him out for a couple of games, kind of a reset. He's been absolutely rock solid since. I like that idea for Ryan McLeod. Take Ryan McLeod out of the lineup for a game or two and give him just a different perspective, watching it from the crowd or from the press box, and just have him see it from another perspective and make him realize he's got to work harder and play a little more physical at this time of year to get done. So that's the move I make, and then Henry can just take his spot on the third line, a game or two down the road, someone on that fourth line probably could come back out. Maybe Connor Brown after a game or two to get McLeod back in. That's kind of the way I would look at it.
Yeah, I think McLeod's probably the easy option for them. I hope he doesn't take it as punishment because, the kid's good.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
His speed's a weapon, but he's just maybe not using it in the right way, playing hockey the right way at this time of year.
And sometimes it takes time to just get figured out in the playoffs. A lot of people look at the Oilers and go with Jordan Eberle and look at that first year, 16-17, and go, it was a poor playoffs. And then this year, when all the discussion was around Jordan Eberle, everyone talked about it. He's not a playoff performer. But then when you actually looked at his playoff stats since he left the Oilers, Jordan Eberle became a playoff performer a little bit. So Ryan McLeod, it hasn't been great this year. I wouldn't throw him away yet. I think there's a lot of people that are ready to just move on from him. I wouldn't be there yet necessarily with the Edmonton Oilers.
There's a lot.
This is first playoffs. Yeah. You don't just throw someone away based off of one poor performance in that sense. But now as for tonight, it'll be interesting because Chris Knobloch, clearly with bringing up the Skinner, is not afraid to make a more difficult move than other coaches might want to make. McLeod's a bigger name to come out. Connor Brown just scored, and so based on that, it would make more sense to go with Ryan McLeod. But I wonder if he goes with just Connor Brown, just going he's taken Sam Gagner out after games this regular season. Now regular season, obviously different than playoffs, but he's taken a
solid in other areas though too, right? So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think another easy choice might be Sam Carrick, but I don't take Sam Carrick out. I like his physicality,
but maybe if you're going to bring Corey Perry, maybe there's the Corey Perry switch.
Sure.
I guess. I
just heard a couple people talking about Perry today.
Well, the Morning Boys were talking about it too a bit.
Yeah,
is he a guy that does help this series?
Yeah.
I love him. I hated him when he.
Yeah, of course you did.
Warriors,
yeah,
but he's too slow. He's just too slow right now.
Yeah, and there really hasn't had any sort of impact in these playoffs, largely.
Which is shocking. I expected far, far more from him. I think everybody did for sure. But.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe have him work in front of the net more and just be nasty. Don't worry about trying to get it out of the corner. They got Kulak and other guys that can do that, right? So, I don't know.
But he wasn't even in those opportunities, even in front of the net, post whistle. The Corey Perry that you hated, he wasn't doing that. So he's been highly disappointing. And
he's lost his nasty.
Yeah, and that's why he's in the press box right now.
Or maybe it's just because the play is faster. He can't catch up to be the nasty player in some of those moments. Maybe that's part of it.
Who are you taking out?
I would want to lean towards Ryan McLeod, but I think if I was a coach, I'd probably go with Connor Brown in the end. Because I think in the end, when they're both not producing, I think they're pretty similar in a sense of what you're not getting a lot. But when the ceiling, I think of Ryan McLeod's higher than a Connor Brown. And yeah, Connor Brown scored, but I think I would maybe lean that way. Yeah. Although, if I'm trying to get Corey Perry and Connor Brown and Ryan McLeod coming out, because then I'd want to keep Sam Carrick. Because if you're bringing Corey Perry, you want a little bit of that grittiness and toughness. Well, I'm not taking also then Sam Carrick out with that. I would want more of it, not to balance it out and switch it out. Yeah. So maybe there's the situation that we see here where there's two players coming out. But with that said, I think there's also a chance that, I know you said you don't want to see this, but it's a Derek Ryan and a Connor Brown coming out, right?
Carrick's been very good on face-offs too, right? So he's that big body. And hasn't been an overly heavy checking series yet, right? So maybe he can bring some of that and change the tone.
It's been a great series, though, so far. Through two games.
Yeah.
Great hockey.
For the week after week after week when I've been on the Hangout with you, I've been bashing the Oilers for not bringing the intensity of that's required in the playoffs. Well, Game 6, Game 7 against Vancouver, Game 1 and 2 against Dallas. Boy, they brought it. And so's Dallas. I mean, what two fabulous hockey games to watch. Games 1 and 2, how can you not be excited to watch tonight with what we've got to be treated to so far? It's unbelievable. Love it.
It's the best time of the year.
When they're playing like this. Now,
and credit to Stuart Skinner too as well, though, because he's been amazing. I'm going to take just the ending of the Vancouver series out of this. Just look at this series. Through the two games, he's been truly amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so is his combatant on the other end of the ice. He's a darn good goalie, Ottinger. Holy. Yeah, this is
he struggled a little early at the end of the season, but Ottinger's been really good. Skinner, I mean, everybody took a deep breath when that first goal went in the other night, but
Yes.
he recovered. Right?
He made a lot of great saves.
Yeah.
Kept it a tight hockey game the rest of the way, and it's just the Oilers need to find a way to produce a little bit more, and part of that's going to be they're going to want a few more power play opportunities. I'll be intrigued to see how that starts playing out, because it wasn't fully to the extent that I thought I would see it, but we saw Chris Knobloch after game 2 comment on the officiating, and he didn't do it the way like a Rick Tockett's done it, but I want things to be more fair. And it's nice to see somebody in the Oilers actually finally kind of go up to a microphone and kind of point to the NHL and be like, hey, what's going on here? Because through those 2 games, I will say you can't tell me the Dallas Stars couldn't have had more penalties.
They are the least penalized team in the NHL this year, so you wouldn't think they're going to take a lot of penalties. Should they have maybe had more than they did? Yeah, of course, but it goes both ways. If Dallas is probably thinking, maybe the Oilers, what was it, 1 power play each in the last game? It was game 1 where the Oilers had...
There's a few more.
But
when you look at what the Oilers are getting called on...
Yeah,
the standard also has to be to me
that
has to be them for the rest of the game. You can't do it at one moment of the game and not call it the rest of the way.
Shin pad isn't a slash.
The Stars could have been called for.
No.
There could have been too many men on the ice against Dallas. That one is just straight up. If there's too many men, it's too many men. And I think the Stars got away with one last game. I'll see if I could quickly pull up last game here and go official.
Who had the breakaway there and everybody thought he got slashed? He didn't.
Oilers breakaway?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Full box.
But it's just one of those things where, the reffing is the reffing. You got to battle through that stuff. This is just 2 great hockey teams going toe to toe, and
1-2.
1-2.
It was 1-2.
Okay.
The Stars had the one opportunity. The Oilers with 2.
So, yeah. So so the Stars are probably saying, "Geez, we only got 1 power play opportunity out of that. There wasn't another call we could have got." Right? Is what it is. You just got to battle through that stuff and just get her to do what you can do to get her done. But
I just looked. I was watching some highlights, and Kane, holy cow! He could have buried 2 the other night. 1 for sure. He shot it right into his pad. He had a wide open net on the side. It's just Jesus. Getting paid the big money, buddy. Put one in.
Yeah, well, you'd like to think that.
Well, that finish yourself for overall for the team just needs to come up just a little bit more, right?
It's like McDavid the other night.
I was going to say, with that one, he ultimately gets the winner.
Oh, my God.
But he had that chance right in front of the net and just couldn't finish it off. And that game could have been done a little bit sooner. If the Oilers could just get that offensive guys just getting a touch better, just tweaking their finish just a bit more, they're feeling probably even better about this series. Because I think right now, through 2 games, the Oilers fans, there's not anything that you're too worried about in this series. You're looking at this, it's going to be tough. They're a hard team to beat, but there's nothing you've seen that the Oilers can't go win this series.
You should have.
And you got the split.
Yeah, 2 games ago, if you would have said, "How about we come home to Edmonton 1-1?" Would you be okay with that?
Take it.
Everyone would have taken that, and so that's the situation that they've got themselves in, and that's great.
Yeah, I didn't see this series. It's got to go 6 or 7.
Yeah,
they're so close.
Yes, right. It's like I said, it's just a treat to watch. It is absolute treat to watch these 2 teams play. After, I didn't like the LA Kings team. Oilers didn't play very well, I didn't think, but they were just playing a bad team. I didn't like Vancouver's team. But I didn't think that Oilers, until game 6 and 7, the Oilers didn't really show up to play. Both teams are here and they're playing, and it's just fabulous to watch. Yeah. Just loving it.
All 4 teams in the final are deserving.
It's great hockey.
Right? That Vancouver series should have been over in 5.
I agree with you.
Really, really should have. We let it slip away.
Yes.
Just dumb mistakes. Skinner was off.
Not strong enough effort.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to a degree to me that they didn't respect their opponent enough.
Yeah,
that's the thing with the Vancouver Canucks.
And everybody says, Demko would have made the difference. It's like that. That kid played great in that for them. That goaltending wasn't their issue at all.
No, one of the biggest issues I think they had in that series, ultimately looking back on it, is the coaching. And I'll go that Rick Tocchet, I think I brought it up on the Hangout late last week. He didn't adjust with the series. He kind of just he wanted his team to do the same thing night in and night out. Whereas Chris Knobloch adjusted his team, and you could see that they were a different team from game 1 through to game 7. And he made the in-series adjustments while Rick Tocchet didn't seem to make those in-series adjustments. And that's one of the reasons I think the Edmonton Oilers were able to knock off the Canucks in the 7.
Well, and how about believing in your backup goalie enough in a big game like that to let Skinner sit, refocus, reset, and Picard came in and played great.
Yeah,
So
he sure did. No question.
He played well enough that people like myself thought going back to Skinner was a mistake. Just because he did so well in games 4 and 5, I thought, why you let him play game 6? But that's where Chris Knobloch's been an excellent coach, is that he goes with whatever he feels is best for the team, no matter what anyone else is thinking. And it's been paying off.
That's a powerful tool going forward, that the team knows their backup can come in and win one for them.
Yeah.
Like if your main goalie goes down and you know the other guy coming in is you just
06,
well
when Rolison went down, there was not a lot of people that had hope for the rest of that series, thinking that it was going to be a quick series, it was going to be done. Markkanen did play unbelievable. But now there's that knowledge, and I'm not saying injury or whatever that might be, but you're right. Like if something with Skinner happens the rest of this way, everyone overall I think is going to be very confident that Pickard could come in and this Oilers team could challenge.
It's just the team doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So they're not worried about their goaltending anymore, and it's showing on the ice. The defense has got considerably better. You know, hat off to Paul Coffey, whatever he's doing there. People were rolling their eyes when he came in. Oh, geez.
That was one of those.
I'm guilty.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now,
You know, I looked at him in the minors though, coaching and stuff, and he was doing the same thing. He was bringing a lot of value, and all his teams were really good defensively. So
who? Coffee didn't coach in
he
minors?
did. He was coaching not minors. He was coaching kids teams and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and another X factor with the series a little bit is Oilers are getting Henrique back, which is obviously a step up, but it looks like the Stars are going to get Rupe Hintz back tonight.
Changes a lot.
That guy is a stud. And so, like, that's a big get for Dallas to get him back, assuming he plays tonight. And you know, he's going to go right in their top line and, you know, maybe be their best player.
Yeah, I know that was an injury that Gager thought really impacts the Stars in a very big way.
Very big.
He's got a bad hand, right?
Is that,
Let me double check
Somebody
if I
said
can
it was
find
a
it.
hand
yeah.
injury.
That's the wonderful part of playoffs, is that you never fully know. We know Henrique's that high ankle sprain.
I love how
Yeah.
the TV focused right in on Dreisaitl's
finger, yeah.
finger with the splint
With
on
the splint on it, yeah.
it.
Probably,
Here, go for this one,
yeah.
guys.
Well,
that's the
it's-
hand you
there's-
slash. That's the
It
hand you
came
slash,
out
yeah.
like it was caught on as he was leaving the plane. I think the Oilers Twitter account had a picture of him leaving the plane, and someone zoomed in and saw the finger.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I think they figured out what was going on. Yeah, I'm still trying to see. He traveling with the team. I'm not seeing exactly what the injury is just yet.
You typically don't see unless you get caught on video like Draisaitl did. But
yeah, they don't.
Yeah,
want-
so they're just upper body injury.
yeah.
So, but here's the one thing I would say though. Then is how fully healthy is he? How much could he? Like, if let's say it's a hand, how much is that going to impact
yeah, you never
his
know for
ability
sure.
to finish? How's that going to impact his play? Like, the hand is such a major one when it comes to hockey, because of the stick and all of that. And if something's feeling a little off, it'll mess with you a bit. So maybe that's the thing. He's coming back. He's going to be ready to go, but he's coming back playoff because of playoffs. And if this was regular season, he probably would still need a few more games to be fully healthy.
Yeah, I don't think they're
100% fair.
desperate yet. If they're down 2-0, maybe bring him back a little sooner. But I'd let the series, if he's not quite there yet, and he can't shoot. I mean, somebody's going to give him a whack for sure.
I'll be the ass and say they better too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is
You're
playoff
playing
time. That's
hard.
what you do. Actually, that was early in the game. I think it was on Saturday night. They went and they crashed Jake Ottinger, and I loved seeing it. Like, it was that's playoff hockey in its finest. Is you
100%.
got to go and be a little gritty, be a little dirty,
Absolutely.
and see what comes out of it. Obviously, don't want to really hurt someone fully, but you want to rattle their cages a bit. Like, but for Jake Ottinger, like, you hope maybe then it's just he's gonna think, about, well, maybe they'll do that again or something.
Yeah.
And could you just slightly get in their heads just a bit? You got to do those things.
There's nothing better than the physicality and clean body checks.
Yes.
Just, Messier was dirty. I mean,
Yes, he
go
was,
back
yeah.
At the
and-
time, it was
you
fine.
go back and
Yeah,
look at some
'cause he
of
played
his
for the
elbows and
Oilers.
stuff. Oh my God, could have killed people.
Well,
But the people that get all like Truba the other night, right?
yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't a chicken wing. He looked like he was trying to push him. The guy's head was down. Like we're getting just.
You can't give Jacob Trouba the benefit of the doubt, though. He's
nasty.
a dirty player.
But he's got the Mark Messier Leadership Award for the year.
Yeah, sure. You go back even beyond Messi. How about Gordie Howe?
Oh, Jesus.
Like, how dirty was that guy?
Yeah. The Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful thing. Yeah.
And he didn't even have that many. Is that not the thing?
No,
He only had a few of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gordie Howe never had a lot of Gordie Howe hat tricks.
You know who
funny.
played a little like him was Jerome McGinley.
Yeah. You know, you look at his son, Tej is getting, he's just shooting up the draft boards right now. And man, if the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, you got to think that Tej Ginla is going to be a good pickup for somebody in the draft this year.
I'll go enjoy him at the Edmonton Oil Kings games next year because he plays for the team up here. Gordie Howe had 2 Gordie Howe hat tricks in his career.
So how is it called the Gordie Howe hat trick if he only had 2?
It was coined by a 1950s New York sports writer, although he only accomplished it twice in his career. So for some reason, he must have done it after a game or two. Maybe after his second one, he got some sports writer called it the Gordie Howe hat trick, and then it stuck with it.
That's funny.
It kills me that these people say the guys weren't fit back then. Like you look, Gordie Howe was just jacked, and Bobby Hull. Gordie Howe was just unbelievable hockey player.
Yeah, they just smoked in between periods and maybe had a couple beers, and it was like your beer league team.
Hop on the well.
Maybe not quite that bad.
Yeah, we're pretty bad. It's basically a social event now.
Yeah.
As it usually is.
Yeah.
780-2899-99. That is the Paris Jewelers inbox. Rip City Step saying, we're talking about the Final Fours of the NHL, saying the conference finals of the NBA have been awful. That's because, with all due respect to your Celtics, the Pacers should be up 2-1, and they've flown games 1 and 3 so much.
Good teams find a way to win games.
Good teams find a way.
100%. Mavs just taking care of business on the other side with the Timberwolves, but the Pacers, it's just shocking how much they've blown this series completely. It's over now. It's 3-0. It's going to be Celtics versus Mavs for an NBA title. Kyrie Irving going up against his former team in the Celtics. The storylines are going to be fun, but it has not been a great conference finals. This text coming in, no name on it. Will the NHL ever have to disclose injuries now that betting is becoming so big?
Well, it's good.
I've felt that we're getting to a point where they're going to have to.
That's a great question.
It's only because the NHL is also you have an official betting partner. I think it's BetMGM or whatever it is. But the moment you welcome in the betting world, the moment you welcome betting money, I've always felt at that point, then you have to be really open about your sport. So these bettors know what they're betting on. And there's a lot of people that don't care about betting, that hate betting, that go, I don't care about that. But the leagues, as long as you're doing the money, there are people that care about these things.
I agree. Until if it's fully embraced by the league and the league is making some money off it and that type of thing, then it has to be transparent. 100% agree. But if it's still at arm's length, then it's irrelevant. It's not the league's responsibility to worry about it. But it's getting more and more into that realm where it needs to be fully transparent for sure. Because that's crazy.
I got the Ginlas mixed up. It's Joe Ginla that plays for the Oil Kings.
Yeah, I was thinking that you were out to lunch on that
Call
one
me
a
out
little bit,
on
but yeah, I don't want to call you out.
Everyone else will, so please go for it.
I've had some concussion issues, so just give me an elbow.
Yeah, I'll Trouba you.
Yeah, Trouba me.
Yeah.
Does he get anything? Do we think?
No.
You don't think he'll get anything?
They might give him.
I think a fine. I could see a fine.
Who knows with player sake?
That's
That's
a very fair point in itself.
God.
Like, we were sitting in the clubhouse watching. I didn't see what led up to it, but I saw he got 2 minutes for slashing and 2 minutes for the elbow. When did the slash happen? Was there a delayed penalty on that in advance? I kind of missed that, and because I'm thinking, what, they just didn't want to give him a major, so they gave him I didn't see the slash happen, so I was just a little confused at that call. But
I watched the highlights on the elbow part, not the slash.
Yeah,
I can't comment on that.
Like I saw it afterwards. I wondered if he elbowed him and then gave someone a whack when they came in or something after, and I didn't see it, so I was just confused if it's only a 2-minute penalty.
There's a reputation that Trouba's being building up right now, and that's where I wonder if there's just another situation here because it's Trouba, it doesn't look good when you. Now it's a still image, but you see that arm really extended with the elbow. Is there something that comes his way just to try to push back now on Trouba and go, okay, we're starting to notice you as the league. Like the player safety.
Him a long time
well,
ago.
but the player safety going, okay, you're fully on everyone's radar.
Yeah.
We now have to make sure. Okay, here's the fine. You've got to watch it now.
Yeah.
Like, be careful with the line because you're getting close to being someone that will consider start maybe getting close to repeat offender territory or something.
The one
and
angle looked like he was coming down on the guy's shoulder trying to push him, and his head was low. But if he went like that, that's a whole different story. He didn't do that.
Bringing the elbow up.
Right.
And typically, player safety looks at injury. That guy was on the ice for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He was hurt, and you got to think that did he come back? I didn't see or notice if he came back in the game, or if he misses any time, that's elevates the situation with Trouba, and maybe that's what.
Do you
gets
guys
him.
like that? Do you agree with suspending on the result as opposed to the intent?
Because it needs to be both to a certain degree. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there has to be both. I'm kind of. I mean, if the guy gets legitimately hurt, he was going to get 1 game. Now he might get 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I look at it. So if there's no injury, 1 game. If the guy's injured, I would extend it.
Yeah, you don't agree with that?
No, I like the idea of maybe adding in the results a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I think the intent should be, to me, is the bigger thing though. Like sometimes a player could just get up and go unscathed, but you go, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
And that was a stupid play. And that's where we've seen the NHL just not give anything, where it's like, I believe then, no, there should be a game or 2. Sometimes you also get a little unlucky and the guy gets really hurt just because they just, whatever is the case, they're out longer than generally you would expect for something. So it's like, to me, the result is something that I would put into a factor of it, but I'm a guy that I want to see what the intent was. Yeah. And if I believe that there was an intent to injure there, I'm suspending if I'm Department of Player Safety on that, as opposed to, okay, hurt, no, then go to how many games type of thing.
Sure. And the unfortunate thing is it goes up to player safety, and then who knows?
Yeah, there just doesn't seem to be any consistency there.
That is just... that's like what's it called in the playoffs these days?
Yeah.
Is that a slash? No. Okay, we're going to call it tonight. Yeah. So it's a slash tonight, but not tomorrow.
Would you guys like some breaking news with the Edmonton Oilers?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's hear it.
Chris Knobloch saying it's a chance to reset for McLeod, as Adam Henrik will be playing. Ryan McLeod will be coming out.
Yeah, well, that's...
So, I'm hearing Dusty go, whoa. So, yes, that is the news that is happening. Chris Knobloch speaking to the media as we speak. So, this just came out. We'll see whatever else comes from Chris Knobloch at the podium. But Adam Henrik playing, Ryan McLeod out. He was listening.
Yeah.
The Knobloch was on the Hangout. Throwing us on before he came on.
I was texting Knobloch earlier telling him what I thought he was asking. So, no, I think that's the right call. I mean...
he even says like the reset.
Yeah.
The reset for McLeod. Not this is your out, you're not coming back or whatever. This is a chance. Hey, just watch the game. Settle in, it's reset and see what happens.
Else is filling the role right now, so probably makes sense.
Yeah, I like it. And I think that, if McLeod learns from this and gets it, he's going to come back in, maybe even next game, and pull Connor Brown out in Game 4 and put McLeod back in, and we'll see a more fired up McLeod, and he'll go out there and maybe pot a goal. That's what he should take from it. Stuart Skinner bounced back, and he's been unbelievable. But historically, that's what Stuart Skinner does. He was 9-1. Coming off of losses this year. So to think that he wasn't going to bounce back, when you look at those numbers, it probably was like, well, why would you think he wouldn't? Because that's what he does. I don't know.
But Knobloch didn't give him the chance to bounce back right away.
Yes.
I will say so. And I will, like, this is a lot of people, I'm not seeing anyone upset about this decision right now on the nasty chat. Good decision, full arms up emojis, wow. To me, this does seem like the right move, but it also seems like the hard move because you're taking out a top 9 player as opposed to, a bottom 3. And Chris Knobloch just once again showing he's not afraid to try to make that tough decision. to try to make the Oilers a little bit better, or just make those in-series, in-game adjustments. And that's not something that I will say. I'm not trying to compare them fully here, but I guess I am. That's not something we saw from Jay Woodcroft. He was too conservative in this, that he just stuck with his guns and stuck with what was happening. And he would have been, if this move was coming at him, Henrik was coming in and Jay Woodcroft was the head coach still, it would have seemed he would have went more for the Connor Brown or something.
Well, the fourth line's been playing well.
Yeah.
Adam Henrique is a top 9 player, so you're improving the top 9 by doing it this way. I mean, sure, you could bump a guy from the third line down to the fourth line, but the fourth line's been playing well. They have some chemistry going right now. It just makes sense. I think it's the right call, and we'll see how it plays itself out.
How big of an addition is Henrik to this team, though? Then, in your guys' eyes,
If he's healthy, I like his game. I think he's good for Dallas. I like his game playing against Dallas. He's smart. Maybe that little finishing we were talking about earlier.
He's a noticeable miss for the Oilers so far through these playoffs.
Against Vancouver, he really was.
And that's, there's a lot of criticisms of when he wasn't playing. Ken Ollins, gave up a first for this guy, but I think that actually just showed that he was the right addition to this team because of how noticeable he's been out when he's been out of the lineup.
As was Carrick, because Carrick shouldn't have been out of the lineup either.
No,
that was a good move for sure. But yeah,
both good depth players. Right?
Sure, which what the Oilers need. And when you have a guy like Ryan McLeod sitting in the stands right now, it says, hey, we've got some depth. There's some depth on this hockey club right now, and it's what they needed. So
you need just the production from it a little bit more. And Ryan McLeod's one of those guys that wasn't given it. So we will see what happens.
Got to score.
Got to score. Got to try to beat Jake Ottinger and continue playing as well as they are defensively. Because early on, since Skinner's been pulled, after Game 3, they've played just overall, for the most part, outside of, I guess, Game 5, it would be a really good team defensive game.
Yeah. The back checking and everything, Nuge has been unbelievable.
Oh.
Just so solid.
So, when you talk about, the Oilers got to, score, yes, they need to score some more, but Dallas is good.
Yeah.
Look at them blocking shots and playing great defensively. They've got a great goaltender. It's not easy to score on the Dallas Stars. They are a darn good
but it's doable.
Hockey team. Yes,
and in the end,
is doable.
The one thing I'll say, as good as Dallas Stars are, as good as Jake Ottinger is, not trying to dismiss them in any way, shape, or form, but you still got the best player in hockey, and you got another top 5 player in hockey.
Yeah.
And you've got some of the best points producers so far this playoffs overall with this team. So
absolutely.
If anyone could beat the Dallas Stars in terms of scoring goals and stuff, it should be, you would like to think, the Edmonton Oilers. Just got to get it done.
And hey, they're in the Final Four. I mean, this is a successful season already. We want them to keep going. We want them to get to the Stanley Cup and see what happens in another round. But you know what? If they don't win the series, they've shown up. They're playing hard, and let's keep our fingers crossed that they can get it done. But if they don't, no one should be hanging their heads if they keep playing the way this is. No one should be pointing fingers saying this guy sucks or that guy sucks and whatever. Well, this is 2 good hockey teams going toe to toe, and someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. And sometimes it sucks that someone's got to lose when these 2 teams are really playing that well.
I mean, you look at where they were in November and how they've come back, and they're one of the 4 finalists now. So, way to go, boys.
And in the end, won. Compared to a couple years ago, didn't get that win. They already got the 1 win.
Right.
And they've been in both games. And, this isn't a series that's also going to end in 5 games. No. We will see 3 games here in Edmonton. It seems pretty likely that we will get these 2 games here. They'll go to Dallas, and they're coming back to Edmonton, and we'll see how it fully plays out at that point.
I'm just
but it's
happy
just
for the
great
city.
series.
Other than the golf course.
I know.
But all the bars and everything really needed this.
Now we get the weather too.
And the weather.
It's today. It's
bring on the sun.
What are we? We're already at 14 degrees. We're going for a high of 22 today. It's about time that we also just have that beautiful weather with all of this. Last week it wasn't there, and it's a little chilly going to the game. Some of those late games against the Canucks and stuff. It's May, let's go.
Yeah, the 6:30 games or 6:40 whenever they fantastic.
When we're done, when we're done those games and it's still light outside, it feels
unbelievable.
It feels weird, but in such a wonderful way. Like everyone leaving Rogers Place tonight, as long as we're not going into like quadruple overtime.
Please no, I gotta get home to bed.
Oh yeah, you're going tonight.
I'm going. Yeah,
It's one of those where there's when you walk out and it's still completely light out. It's kind of a little weird, but it's great at the same time. And then especially when the Oilers win, like downtown, it's the car horns are honking, everyone's just celebrating. And then the city the next day, just everyone's
Everybody's
happy.
in a better mood.
Everyone's happy.
I phone customers; they're all happy.
they're dropping money left, right, and
Serenity.
center because
Yeah.
they're so happy that the Oilers won. Yeah,
Fantastic.
perfect. Life's good.
Win-win.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Two Hoots Hard Ice Tea. Matt Iwanyk, Murray McCourt, Don Ellis with you here. Coming up in the second hour of the show, we'll qualify someone for the EST A Swing to Win, the $100,000 hole-in-one contest brought to you by a Golf Town. It will take place July 3rd at the Ranch Golf and Country Club on the 17th hole, 180 yards away. So stay tuned for the keyword for that. We'll qualify someone for that opportunity. Each day we'll qualify people, and then the next morning show, the next Nielsen show, they will draw someone from that day's prior qualifying group, and that person will be one of 25 contestants with the possibility to swing for $100,000 at the Ranch. 17th hole on July 3rd. Right now, though, do want to qualify someone for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, which is taking place July 12th through the 14th. Kingsman Park, a beautiful setting, a lot of great comedians. The Alley Cat, the official beer of the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival here in Edmonton. So you can go sit outdoors, downtown Edmonton, laugh with some of the best comedians in the world, enjoying a 6 o'clock lager. What a better way to spend a summer night. We're qualifying for the Saturday show, a VIP table for 4 to see Kevin Hart. He's headlining the Saturday, the VIP table, and there's like a QR code on your table, and you can scan and you order your food and drinks. So you don't have to go anywhere. They'll just bring it to you all night. If you want to get into the qualifying opportunity, we'll give this away 3 weeks from now. So we're qualifying for 3 weeks. Text us, Hart, as in Kevin Hart, so spell Hart correctly. Hart to 780-218-9999. You'll go into a draw for those for that VIP table for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, July 13th at Kingsman Park. GreatOutdoorsComedyFestival.com for more information. Limited amount of tickets for Kevin Hart show and for the Sunday show, which features Burt Kreischer and Whitney Cummings. The Friday show with Shane Gillis and Andrew Schultz completely sold out, so you can't go see that show. You missed out. Also, there's early bird specials, early bird ticket pricing specials, I should say. For the Saturday and the Sunday. That ends June 1st. So you got the rest of this week to get the early bird pricing if you want to buy your tickets. As of June 1st, bumps up slightly. So get on your tickets right now. You guys big comedy goers?
Oh, I love comedy.
It's the best.
Oh, live comedy. I saw Seinfeld a few years ago.
Oh, did you?
In Calgary. Well,
How was he?
14. Oh, fantastic. Really, really, really good. Yeah. I mean, there's so many greats. I could go on about Monty Python. I had the greatest sitter growing up. My mom and dad would take off to curling, and I got to watch Monty Python.
Oh.
I go into school on Monday and react stuff and be hauled down to the principal's office. It was awesome. Yeah. Robin Williams, George Carlin. Oh, my God. I can go
George
on.
Carlin.
Wow, you're a comedy junkie.
Music, comedy, sports.
Big
Good
music
combo.
guy, too.
Nice.
There's a CJSR. I think Wednesday nights at like midnight, they have a comedy show that runs for like 2 hours. I remember leaving 1260 one night really late, and I threw it on, and I was just laughing. They were just playing old comedy skits, and it was like it was just amazing driving home listening to that. I don't go enough to comedy shows. Like that's the problem. Is like they are when you go, you have such a wonderful time, but for some reason I don't think about going more, and I need to go a lot more because you can't go wrong. You're just sitting there enjoying great comedy and just laughing. That's it. It's a night of laughter.
Have you ever seen Johnny Bagpipes Morrison?
No.
No,
Oh
never
my
heard of
God!
him.
So if Johnny comes to town, go see him. Big, huge, 6'4" guy, like big, dusty guy, but he plays bagpipes, and he said he got kicked out of bagpipe lessons because he was starting to play AC/DC and stuff, and he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But he plays Van Halen and AC/DC and stuff on the bagpipes.
Really?
Cool.
Plus, he's funny as hell. Like, unbelievable guy.
Yeah. Do you like the comedy? Like, the comedy that I don't like is when every other word's a swear word. Like that doesn't do it for me.
Like the
odd-
Brady roast.
Like the perfect an F-bomb every once in a while, like really just gets the point across, and I find that funny. But if every other word is F this and F that,
Swearing
it's
for the
like,
sake of swearing,
I don't
find it
funny.
to try to be edgy. it's not fun. If it's dropped in because it works, go for it.
Exactly.
We had back at the old place, JMO and I had this story because we just loved it. We had a meeting and a couple people, bosses came up from Calgary, and to try to be hip with us or like get in with all of us jocks on the Bear, Virgin, and TSN, they just swore every second word to be like, we're cool, and we're just like, this isn't cool with us. Like you're actually having the opposite effect right now.
Yeah.
We think less of you that you think that you just have to swear every second, third word to be in with us and try to be the cool bosses. Just speak normally. Yeah. And if a swear comes out, awesome. We don't care. Like this doesn't make us feel like you're a better boss in that sense. But now we just think less of you and we're going to mock you because you just keep thinking swearing's the big thing for us.
Yeah.
If you're ever having a bad day, watch Robin Williams describing Scottish golf.
It's a good one, isn't it?
He drops a few F-bombs, but they're timely. But that will make you gut cry. It's about an 8-minute skit.
Oh, yeah?
Robin Williams doing golf. I suggest everyone watch it. It's truly unbelievable.
I forget her name. I went to her show. It was a female comedian. It was at Rogers Place, and the place was packed. This was a couple of years ago.
I want to guess Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer. I hated it. Like, I did not find her funny at all. I don't know. Do you like Amy Schumer's comedy?
She's not one of my go-tos.
She's a hit or miss one. Yeah. I could see that.
I've seen small snippets of her that are okay, but there's other female comedians that are. I mean, I grew up, I'm from Edmonton, grew up watching SCTV with some of the brilliant female comedians they had on that show. Just unbelievable. Mm.
Yeah, I see snippets of some female comedians, especially on TikTok and whatnot, and they got some good stuff.
Well, the one, I just watched this Brady roast the other night, and the one female comedian on there was
Nikki Glazer.
Nikki Glazer she was the star of the show. She was so good.
Her crypto joke with Rob Gronkowski and Brady was just perfect.
Yeah, she was fan. She's worth watching that just to see her.
Wow.
With the roast, there was the Queen of Mean. What was her name? It's like Lisa. Was it Lisa Lampanelli?
Could be. Yeah.
I think Lisa Lampanelli. She was cruel, but I always loved Lisa Lampanelli. If that's who I'm thinking of, yeah, Lisa Lampanelli. She was great. Oh,
you know your comedy too.
I know
Holy
a little
smokes.
bit. It's just because you find those clips on YouTube. Like you go on the YouTube wormhole and you click a couple and then you just start watching them and you go into them. And the thing about TikTok though, I didn't know you were on TikTok.
Well, I like TikTok a lot.
But TikTok, you get into the algorithms and all you have to do is watch a couple of comedy ones and then you'll get the comedy algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's a great algorithm to be down because then you're sitting there watching like 3-4 minute sketches.
Yeah,
They're funny.
I love it when it's just small like that. Yeah.
But then also if they're good enough, I will then go find them on YouTube and want to watch longer.
Full show. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense for sure.
Saturday Night Live's had a history of really, really strong female comedians on there. Some really, really good ones.
When Saturday Night Live was at its heyday. Well, there've been a few heydays of SNL. They're up and but like the one I was because she just hosted Maya Rudolph when it was her and Kirsten Wiig and stuff. Like that was a great time of SNL. But Maya Rudolph when she was hosting, it made me miss her being on SNL because she's hilarious and not afraid to just do some fun stuff. Do you watch SNL at least?
Past my bedtime.
The key.
I know. I go to bed
PVR, baby. You record it. When that's how you start your Sunday morning, or you watch it on Sunday. I'll watch up until Weekend Update. That's what I generally do. I'll watch Weekend Update, then I'll go to bed and I'll watch the last half.
Weekend
the next
Update
day.
is unbelievable. It's still good.
They do a good job. Actually, haven't watched the last one with the Jake Gyllenhaal episode when they swap jokes for the season ender. I got to still go watch that one. And I've been good to not find any spoilers or like see any TikToks of that one because I don't want that one to go away from me. But they've had some great people on Weekend Update in the past.
I'm a little older than you guys. Carol Burnett never gets enough credit.
Well, she was the star. Like she was kind of the pioneer of those type of variety shows or whatever, right?
Absolutely brilliant comic mind for sure. And her whole cast was fantastic.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about the Carol Burnett show.
Tim Conway. Oh my God. All those guys are just nuts.
I know this one isn't usually like I was always a fan of Jay Leno's comedy too. Personally. I don't know. There was something about his monologues I loved. I did enjoy I think he's a good comedian.
I was more of a Letterman guy. I liked all the
But I never got into like for the shows he was a better interviewer. Letterman with guests was way better. But Leno's monologue for me, I don't know. Maybe I was just because I was too young. I liked Leno's monologues. I would have loved to seen him do stand up.
Yeah, I was never a big Leno fan. I don't know what it was.
Conan guy then.
I'd like to see his car collection, but I like Conan. But I liked Letterman too because I was a music fan, and he always brought in really current bands, or like Pearl Jam when they were just starting out and stuff. Right? Absolutely brilliant.
Did you guys watch Baby Reindeer, that documentary?
That's twisted.
It is twisted.
No.
But fabulous.
Baby Reindeer?
Yeah, it's twisted. But he was a comedian. And you know what I always find fascinating is, you look at him in some of that stuff and he gets up there and like, that is a bold thing to do, is get up in front of a big crowd and to get them engaged with you right away. And when I because if you bomb on the first joke or two, I mean, like I just couldn't imagine what they would feel like in that moment. Like, oh boy, how am I going to get this going? Or I don't know, it could just snowball on you in a negative way.
Oh, really, really quick.
Yeah.
And that's the actual guy that had the situation happen to.
Exactly.
It's acting in it too. It's kind of like a modern. What was the Fatal Attraction? When we were growing up was kind of the rabbit in the pot stuff. But this guy gets involved with kind of a crazy person.
Very crazy. Yeah, stalker. Yeah, but
it's a good pick.
The guy was a comedian. That's why I kind of brought it up, because it's such a tough thing to do. And when I was at Nanton Golf Club, south of Calgary, we had this big, huge, massive men's scramble every year, and I always hired comedians from Yuck Yucks to come in and do a comedy show on a Saturday night at the big banquet. And like, it's a tough job. And I'll never forget this guy. I'm going to forget his name right now. He was the funniest comedian I have ever seen. He's a First Nations guy, and his name didn't suggest that he was a First Nations guy. And he comes and Nanton's as redneck Alberta as it gets. And I meet him, and he's First Nations, and I'm thinking to myself, ooh, this is going to be tough in Nanton, because Nanton's a redneck community. And he got up there and he got the crowd going so fast and so quick. Like, there's a guy named Brian Brown in that. He's the best golfer in the town, and he was wearing green jeans, and he just starts bashing Brian Brown in his green jeans, and oh my gosh, the people were just loving it. And that's just so amazing about comedians, that they can get up there and
well, if you can make that connection
like that
early, and you've got the crowd, and that's the thing I loved about Robin Williams live, is he would kind of have it scripted, and then he'd just go
wherever it went.
Yeah. Like, you'd say something, and he'd just be on you, like, just.
Yeah, the crowd interaction is fun when you kind of.
Well, if you can do it respectfully and get a good laugh out of it. There's some good guys coming in. Jamie Carr's coming in.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr is one where he has a nice crowd interaction, but he wants his you have to hear his laugh and the way he talks. It's something else. But he does the crowd interaction where it's like he wants them to.
British guy. He's
he wants them to beak him. Like, he wants them to say things, and then he responds, and he goes after you.
Wow.
And he'll take you down, but like you're doing it on purpose, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I can't think of the other guy who's with him. He's very good too. But
yeah, I remember
my
that.
son listens to all these newer guys, and he got me hooked on him. He's really, really funny. Really, Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries is great too.
Really on the edge stuff though. Like, you're kind of going, ooh, okay. You're gonna go down there.
I get a kick out of those people in the crowd. I mean, these are professional comedians, and you chirp a professional comedian from the crowd, and you think you're actually going to win that interaction.
Yeah,
like, it's not going to happen.
Move.
Yeah.
Well, especially like the lower ones too. It's like these guys they're trying to work their way up, but they're comedians.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you can challenge them? Like, how do you feel like that you're going to best them? And they also have the microphones, so they're going to be louder than you. Just straight up on the bat, they're louder than you. Yeah. And they're going to destroy you. So why? Just if you don't like what you're hearing or whatever, just get up and leave. Yeah. Like, it's just that simple. Make it easier for yourself. Fergie's Prostate in the Nasty Chat. He goes, Johnny Bagpipes is from Oregon originally, but now lives in Langford, BC.
Yeah.
Fascinating entertainer.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen him for years, but I think I've seen him 3 times, and just enjoyable show every time.
And then Jimmy Carr, get ready for insensitive material. funny, but holy bleep.
Oh, he's totally on.
Oh, it's offside.
Yeah.
Really?
That's to me that is comedy, and I know sometimes people get upset about things that are said, but comedy is going to be offensive.
If you're-
comedy at its best is often offensive. Just look at the Tom Brady roast. There was a lot of offside jokes made in that one, but that can be comedy at its best, and Jimmy Carr is one that does it that way. And then there's another guy coming to Edmonton, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, and I like Fluffy stuff, but he's not an offside guy. Like he does it the other way, and so comedy can be done in so many different ways, but they're all really funny.
Who is the guy who's really dry? Kind of went out to the shop today, and he
I know who you're speaking of.
Yeah.
I don't know the name.
long hair.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I just can't think of the guy's name. Saw him once, and he just makes you cry. But he's just really, really monotone. Really slow delivery, but his stories are unbelievable.
Last comedy show I went to was at West Edmonton Mall at the Bourbon Street there. It's
Comic strip.
Yeah, it's a good spot to go. And there was an Asian comedian was the feature guy, and he was like bashing their race. And he had to talk about it being a little racy and raunchy. Whatever. He had his pants off in his underwear. Bashing their race for the stereotype of their size down below, right? And this guy in the front row was on a cell phone just all the time. And he says to the guy, "Give me your cell phone." And the guy's like, "No, I'm not giving you a cell phone." And kept going. And he said, "Well, just get off your cell phone and enjoy the show." And finally, he got the guy's girlfriend to toss him his cell phone. And he put the cell phone down in his underwear and rubbed it all around down there and then give it back to him. Like, oh my God. See, you're laughing. It's funny.
It's funny. It's a part of the show.
Close-up D-pick.
Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright.
That's what people are saying.
Thank
Stephen Wright
you.
is the one that
They're
you're
great
you're
fans
thinking of.
on this show. They
Know.
they're on it.
People know. If you just have to throw someone out
Anyways,
there, someone's going to know
I think
it.
he even passed away, but Stephen Wright was a genius, or is still a genius.
Still. Yep. No, he's still going. So
Okay. Anyway,
68 years
look
old.
him
Yeah,
up.
it's on Wikipedia. It goes known for his distinctive lethargic voice and
Lethargic
slow,
voice, okay.
deadpan delivery of ironic and
Unbelievable.
sometimes nonsensical jokes.
Yeah,
So
fantastic.
just make things feel awkward.
Thank you to the people tuning in that responded, because that guy's a genius.
Lots to still get to here on the EST Hangout. Elks quickly. I do want to get there because they had their first preseason game. Did you go this weekend?
I gave my staff the tickets, but I'll be going season opener.
You went there for part of it.
Yeah, I got there.
What did you make of what you saw early? And it's preseason. There's not much that I like reading into preseason, but
Yeah, exactly. Because I really have no clue what kind of roster Saskatchewan played, if they played any of their starters. Or,
it's a few. But like their next week will be they're done. Last week they played BC or Winnipeg at home, so they would have played more starters in that one.
I get it was the biggest thing for me was there was nobody there. Like it's exhibition. I get it, but boy, I'd be surprised if there was more than 5,000 people in the stands. And then the Oilers were playing after, so that probably had an impact on it as well. But it was a nice day, beautiful day to watch some football.
Photos from the tailgate look great. Looking at the stats, I was out of town, so I couldn't go to the game. MBT looked okay, 17, 25, 190 yards, threw an interception. The number I liked, though, was Trey Ford. He was 12 of 14 for 121 yards.
Yeah, Trey looked really
That's a nice
strong.
little stat line. 2 incompletions and 14 throws.
And not bad
no
turnovers,
picks.
right?
Did he run? 'Cause I didn't.
They had a couple of punt return fumbles.
Right.
Yeah, which cost them the
Trey
game.
Ford ran twice for 20 yards, one being 12 yards.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't doing the Trey Ford type of things. He was standing there and throwing the ball, and good for him. He looked good. There was a couple of guys on defense. I'm not going to remember their names that really looked athletic, and a couple of sacks. And hey, man, I'm optimistic that there's going to be a football team there this year that can be competitive. And are they going to be Grey Cup contenders? Maybe not, but I think that enough of not making the playoffs. I think there's enough of a team there that we're gonna sneak in and make a playoffs, and
I hope so.
Yeah,
Section F, baby.
Section F.
Yeah.
you're representing.
Yep. 11 rows up, right behind the bench. Great seats. Come on down. We'll buy you a beer.
A couple sections over is
come on
D, and that's where Tommy is. And then you've got your spot, which is beautiful. It's always a fun time at Commonwealth. I'll be intrigued. The reports I've heard, because obviously I do this show, I can't get down to training camp. The D line is looking good, but now that the question is the D line looking good, or is that just the O line's not good? Right, and that's the concern you have through training camp, is that when you're going up against yourselves, like which one's the good one, which one's the bad one. So the O line is going to scare me completely going into this season. I'm going to need to see like 3 or 4 really good weeks in a row to feel comfortable with that O-line, because I felt like that was a position that Chris Jones needed to go address in this offseason, and he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Outside of bringing in some
but there is consistency there. There is some consistency there.
Yeah.
All the guys are back. If he talked about that last year a lot, that Chris Jones, there's a lot of young guys here. They're going to be a year older, a year wiser, hopefully a year better. So we'll see. But you want to know what? If the offensive line doesn't do very well, 38-year-old McLeod Bethel Thompson isn't going to last very long, and we're going to see Trey Ford in a big hurry then.
Well, and that's part of why I didn't understand the MBT signing. Nothing against MBT, but you could go fix your O-line if you don't bring in the big money quarterback. And you brought in the big money quarterback, so you can't go fix the O-line, and the big money quarterback can't move. Trey Ford can at least move.
Yes.
That's so it'll be fascinating. June 8th, the first game of the Edmonton Elks regular season, taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Green and Gold kickoff and post game shows myself and Jay Milne live right here in Edmonton Sports Talk. 4 o'clock live from Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road all season long. We'll be there for pre and post game shows. Awesome. So looking forward to it, and I'm just excited to talk some preseason or some football again. We might do the game this Friday. We might do the pregame for it just to get some. To test it out, go for a test drive.
Get
but that's
out
during
and support.
Oilers.
Get out and support the team. It's a lot. I got my dad's seats back. That's why I'm down in Section F there. But it's a lot of fun. My kids go a lot. They enjoy it when they're there. But we got to get 20 to 30,000 out to the
30,000.
I'll say if they could get 25, average 25 this year, legit 25, not a papered the city announced 25, a legit 25 going with the lower bowl only being 31,000 seats. If you have 25,000 sitting there, the atmosphere is going to feel that much better.
How do you feel about what they're doing there as far as covering up the top?
I think it's the right move with where they are as a franchise now, that they have to rebuild the supply and demand, and you have to build it up by lowering how many tickets are available.
Give and take. Change the name back and do that.
Well, a couple little tidbits. As we were talking about earlier, I got lots of friends. So supposedly the leading candidate to take over the franchise, their plan would be to change the name of the team to the Edmonton Elks, with potentially the potential to extend it to Eskimos
I don't
in
know
the
why
future.
they didn't do that to begin with.
I would have just stuck with the football club.
I call them the Eskies. I call them the Esks.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's. And maybe a new stadium.
So where do you guys stand?
Northlands, right there. Knock old Rexall down, put a little.
You would go there because if I looked at Northlands lands, I'd look at the old racetrack.
Well, that's
That'd
where,
be the other one,
that's where
too.
they're talking. There's more space, right?
Yeah.
And parking's there.
And that would be the place to go. Maybe put the training facility over where the old Rexall is, something like that.
I like it.
Have it a multi-soccer park and everything else.
I'm scared of losing the big stadium with Commonwealth because Metallica's coming for 2 shows this year, and there's not a lot that comes. But do we then lose Commonwealth, and then those big musical acts aren't going to come?
Soccer game.
I don't know. I'll say this: I don't know if Edmonton will host a big soccer game for a long time. I think Edmonton's pissed off with Canada Soccer.
Edmonton's pissed off at Canada Soccer?
Yeah, because not getting World Cup games.
Yeah.
Edmonton's always supported Canada Soccer. And then when the biggest event comes to town,
More so
we've
than
got
other
screwed.
cities.
Way more so than other
They
cities.
screwed us bad.
Yeah.
And so I
Totally
wonder
agree with
if Edmonton won't take soccer for a long time, even if there was an opportunity, because they're pissed off about 26 World Cup. Because that would have also changed this whole discussion too, because 26 World Cup was coming here. We'd be talking about millions going into Commonwealth and renovating Commonwealth, and there wouldn't be a discussion about a new facility. We'd be talking about the upgrades to Commonwealth to make it a better facility.
I remember going to games in Old Clark Stadium with my dad, and then when Commonwealth came, I mean, it was just like, oh my God, right?
You were dating yourself. Another little tidbit I heard.
Was tiny.
Okay. Another little tidbit I heard of the game from talking to some of the Elks staff was that the NHL released the final schedule.
Yeah, Dave Pagnotta had it on Hello Hockey on Saturday, too.
And so
Game one of the Stanley Cup final will be the same day as the home opener for the Oilers.
right. So potentially, if
June 8th.
the Oilers win and are in it, the Elks are contemplating moving their game.
They should.
Yeah.
I stand by that. I've argued this for a few years when it comes to the CFL. I think the CFL schedule needs to be bumped ahead earlier. And the big concern that I know the CFL has is they don't want to go up against the Stanley Cup finals. But to me, there's not a lot of, ahead of time, you could move a game.
Yeah.
You could easily move that game to a Friday or move it to the Sunday. And they should 100% do that. I know it might affect some people that come up to town, but if there's June 8th, the Oilers are in the Stanley Cup final, it's game one, the Oilers are in New York or Florida for a Stanley Cup final at 6 o'clock at night. You cannot be having the Elks going up against Saskatchewan Roughriders at 5 o'clock.
No,
just can't
that's
happen.
not going to work.
Unless that game was in Saskatchewan, it can't work. But that game's here in Edmonton. You move that to the Friday, you move it to the Sunday, or you try playing that at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, an earlier kickoff time. But you cannot be having those overflow because you will not have the crowd show up, period.
So, yeah, TV, though, what does TSN have to say about it? That would be a big thing. And
I think if I'm an executive of TSN, I'd want to move it too because we're not going to win the TV battle.
No, of course not.
A Canadian team in the Stanley Cup final, we're losing that TV battle. So let's move this game, even if it interferes with some production and stuff. I now have a better chance of getting a better audience than I would before, especially if the one team in the Stanley Cup final has the home team in the CFL game. I would 100% be going to, like, we need to move this game.
Yeah. So also for Edmonton Sports Talk, like how in the world can you do your post-game show while Gazzola's doing his pre-game show at the same time? Doesn't work.
It was the same thing at 1260. Oilers will always take precedence. I will always stay with. So it's we always so at this time of year, Oilers will take precedence. If it's an Elks playoff game and the Oilers are playing, Elks will take precedence. I would think.
Yeah, makes sense. Playoffs rule.
That's the thing. But for the most part, Oilers would. Yeah, they'd have to do it. I guess we could do 2 YouTube shows. Like audio stream would have to be Oilers. We could do 2 YouTube channel shows at the same time. You can do that. Could watch both.
Boom.
Put one on with volume on your TV. Put the other on your phone with an earbud in or something. You're set to go.
Tommy Gazzola in one ear, Matt Iwanyk in the other ear.
Oh my God, heaven on earth right there.
What could be better?
Huh? It's just who has the better hair. That's
It's Tommy. We know the answer to that one. That's Tommy. But yes, okay, June 8th, home opener for the Edmonton Elks, we think. We think.
And
We'll
the
see what happens.
Stingers home opener coming up too.
June 2nd.
Yeah.
This upcoming Sunday. Their next game is the 29th, so that's on Wednesday. They're out in Ottawa. Because of the Oiler game, we will join that game in progress here on Edmonton Sports Talk on our audio stream as we do have some Stingers game for you on the station. Then they're on 30th. They're in Montreal, which is Thursday. And then, on the Sunday, they're their home opener.
Looking forward to that.
Stingers is so much fun. It's a great.
I went to 2 games last year, and I liked it so much. I got season tickets now. So.
Oh, did you?
Good for you.
To me, basketball is just so much fun in person, and they keep you energized. And then this Friday, May 31st, the Edmonton Riverhawks are on the road in Bellingham. Their season gets going. They're in town the following week.
Nothing like an afternoon out at the park.
Isn't it something?
It's good. It's a good time.
We're in that time of year. This is weird. We're talking about Oilers, we're talking about Stingers, Riverhawks, and Elks all at the exact same time. It's awesome.
And by the way, all the owners of those new teams, the Riverhawks, Randy Gregg's done an unbelievable job with that. The Stingers organization, it's family fun. Food prices are fantastic if you're taking your kids. And it's super entertaining. The team makes it a lot of fun to beat at those games.
And they're 1-0.
They're 1-0. Crushed
1-0,
Calgary.
baby.
Crushed them, and that's the right word. Like, they went down, and they were not the favorite going into it, but they showed Calgary who's boss.
Really? They weren't the favorite.
They were not. So it's a good start to the season for Jordan Baker and the Edmonton Stingers. This is the EST Hangout presented by 2 Hoots Hard Ice Tea. Matt Iwanyk, Murray McCourt from the VIP Golf Show, which you can catch right here at Edmonton Sports Talk, 8 o'clock Sunday mornings. We will have a replay for you tomorrow at 5 o'clock on the audio stream, or you could just go to YouTube, watch the show at any moment, edmontonsportstalk.com. golfshow.com as well. VIP Golf Show links are all there. You can get it on wherever you get your podcast as well. Don Ellis, Contemporary Office Interiors. He's with us, friend of Edmonton Sports Talk. Also big when it comes to kids sports. And we've got a big event with kids sport coming up with Edmonton Sports Talk. Birds for Kids, Wednesday, June 19th, presented by our partners over at GS Construction. Dusty will be joined by Rashog and some other members for a live broadcast from the Bell in Scona. I was just there a couple weeks ago or 2 weeks ago to look at things logistically. I forgot.
Did you go up on the roof?
Oh, we didn't get on the. We just stayed. We didn't open up in those. We're just in the banquet room. I remember when that place wasn't that like a bakery back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great little spot.
That is a beautiful little area.
It was it just brought back so many memories walking back into the Bell. 90 theme nights. You're gonna want to be a rad man.
That's right.
That's what it says. You're going to want to be a rad man.
Oh, my goodness.
Grab tickets to support a great cause. Kidsportbidsforkids.com. And you'll also go into a door prize draw for an Alberta mountain getaway. It's going to be a fun night.
Great night. We got Dusty and Rashog are hosting it. It's a hot stove. Lots of prizes. There's a link up right now, but if you want to go learn a little bit more about kids sport and what they do, tremendous organization, not-for-profit organization here in Edmonton that helps kids play any sport that they want, kids in need. We want to get kids active. I've been on the board of directors for 4 years. I'm off now, but they do tremendous work. And the letters we get, we can't share them all because we want to be respectful to the families and whatnot. But the kids that get helped to play, their moods improve. You can learn so many life lessons from playing sports, participating in sports, and these kids are so thankful and grateful they get the help from Kids Sport. So come out to this event. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of special guests. I can't name any of them right now, but Dusty and Rashog are going to have a blast. They're great hosts. And I got to say, just in short, thank you to the media in this city for always supporting kids sport and Sports Central and Free Play for Kids, because the need is great. 1 in 3 Canadian kids can't play sports, organized sports. 1 in 3 Canadian kids. Think about that. I do some guest speaking, and first thing I'll do is I'll walk in the room and I'll say, everybody here who played sports growing up as a kid, put up your hand. And it's like 3/4 of the whole place, right? How did that impact your life, right? So you got to think about all those little kids that can't play because of cost, right? We got to change that.
Well, it's how did Alphonso Davies become a star?
Oh.
He got through one of those programs, right?
He
and
was.
what would have been missed for Canada if that never programs weren't there for Alphonso Davies to become, like, he's getting set over this summer, the summer after potentially. Now it's kind of iffy. But a move to the biggest club ever, like the
100%.
biggest club in the world, Real Madrid, from Edmonton. Like that, it's ridiculous to say. And that's what we're talking about. But that's all because he got one of these programs.
Refugee family moved to Edmonton. Sports Central got him his very first bike, so he could ride his bike to soccer practices. And Free Play for Kids, Kids Sport, Sports Central helps so many kids.
Tim Adams, is that the name?
Tim Adams runs Free Play for Kids. Terrific guy. He left a broadcasting job.
Yeah, he's with CBC, and then he left to go because that was just soccer, but they've made it for more sports.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
He's expanded that whole thing. They were running out of the East Soccer Center, and Tim's got that. They got hockey now, basketball programs. We helped them with a food program during the pandemic, so we were using our trucks to bring food to kids. Every kid that comes into the programs gets a healthy meal.
Who's we?
Well, our company, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, we just used our trucks to pick up food from the food bank and bring it out to Tim's organization. And all these, get to know these local charities, because they're part of the reason I stayed in Edmonton was because of how generous our city is. And it really is. So many good people giving back, and we try to help out behind the scenes as much as we can, and there's so many good people. So this event coming up on June 19th, 5:30 to 8:30. It's going to be a blast, a lot of fun.
And like, I didn't get out there, but the patio was great.
Oh,
if the weather, and June, if the weather's usually really good, the weather's going, it's going to be really awesome to be at that building, the Bell in Scona.
Sounds fun.
And then Graham's actually in the nasty chat. There will be some great items in the silent auction, and with every tick, you'll get an entry for a night at the Jasper Park Lodge and $100 GC to Earls in Jasper.
Right.
So there's your night in Jasper covered.
Sounds perfect.
I was just at Earls yesterday. It was
Jasper?
No, I was in Calgary for the Earls in Calgary, just for a quick bite. And,
Earls for girls in Calgary. That's what we used to call it.
That's I always liked their menu.
Yeah.
Made a good season yesterday too
it's
for me.
consistent.
Okay, you brought up soccer.
Yeah.
Did I hear that Man U beat Man City? Did I hear that right?
We did. And I'm using we on this one. Sorry, Tom, you could screw off. Saturday was the FA Cup, which is like this. It's the domestic cup in England. Long tradition. Not as important as it once was because of just different things that have come up. But United took on City in the championship and took down City 2-1. Played a great match. It was. I was not expecting at all to be seeing a championship this season. United had a miserable season, but it ended with the trophy, and it feels really nice. And now the question is, are they going to fire their manager or not? Because they might fire their manager still, which the fan base doesn't want now. I never wanted it, but 2 trophies in 2 years. And yeah, like taking down City, it feels really good. Like they're a beast. They've done a lot of great things, 4 straight Premier League titles. But when it came to the FA Cup, we got our revenge, and Manchester is red.
There you go. You're welcome for giving you your little soapbox.
I was not going to be expecting that. I was going to be able to gloat about Man United today on a Game 3 of Western Conference Final.
Me bringing it
From
up
Murray bringing it up to me.
Murray, that boy. You've never seen a happier face.
Oh,
It's just...
I was in Calgary for my cousin's kid's birthday and stuff, and it was just I had to be somewhere for 10:30. The match started at 8, and that's all I watched, like for 2 hours. And like my nieces were coming around. I was like, "Hey, we watching a game right now." That was big. And then I was yelling and screaming because they won, and planned my shower right at halftime. So I was like, "Okay, half's over." Jumped in quickly, changed, got out so I could watch the second half. Didn't miss a second of the second half.
That's dedication.
It was it was an awful season. I didn't want to watch any Manchester United matches basically all year because I was getting frustrated and mad at them. But then we finished off with the title, and sorry to Johnny Alberta, who's a Nasty Club member in the Nasty Chat often. He built what happens in soccer is you have supporter groups around the world. So Eric's part of actually the Liverpool supporter group of Edmonton, and they often meet at places. And Manchester United didn't have one here in Edmonton, and he started creating one here in Edmonton. No, I didn't even get to one this year. I failed miserably and never showed up once to a single one. So my apologies to Johnny. Next year I will be much better at that. But thank you for building something. I saw some videos of them on Saturday, and they were having a good time. So
and sorry, who does Tom cheer for?
Tom's not a soccer guy.
Yeah, I'm not a soccer guy.
No, he just doesn't like. He doesn't like saying "wees."
Oh, wees.
We're not allowed to say "wees" or something. So he gets mad when I say "we" with Manchester United because he goes, "What number did you wear?" And it's I support.
Have you been to a game over there?
I have. I have never been to Europe.
Oh, dude.
And that's on the
Put that on your bucket list.
Well, it's I can't use it as an excuse now. But I was supposed to go in 2020 for the Euros, but COVID hit, and then the next year when they pushed the tournament back, I still had my ticket, but it was the restrictions, you had to make a decision by February 1st whether you want to keep your ticket or refund. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Am I gonna have to take 2 weeks off of work to go there and then take another 2 week after? So I had to give up the ticket. So now I just got to make a plan to just settle in and go. But I am going to Atlanta to go watch Canada and Argentina with Messi. I bought those tickets on the Hangout on Friday.
So one more soccer tidbit. Did I also see that the guy you wanted to run Canada got hired? Is that true as well?
You're talking about Jesse Marsh being the new head coach or manager of the team?
Yes.
I wanted someone better.
Oh, you wanted someone better?
But it was a dream. Jesse Marsh is probably the best candidate that Canada could have got. They actually did really well, I think.
Okay.
And so we've got a competent manager in charge of the national team, I would think. And we'll see how it goes. Except this is where Canada soccer is. To hire him, they needed money from the 3 MLS clubs, Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. So his official title is the MLS Canada men's national team coach.
Ooh.
So you got to add MLS in front of it.
That's a lot of
There's a lot in there.
Stuff on a business
it won't be
card.
called that at all. I will get off the soccer. Apologies. Murray's bringing this up. Blame him, not me.
I'm just giving you your props. I hate soccer.
Tom,
I wanted to talk about Oilers for the whole 2 hours, but I got
Well, let's go back there.
Tom Z, Ten Hag should be sacked. Man, you finished 8th, and no, Europe is a huge financial loss. They are actually in Europe because of that FA Cup win. They will be in Europa League next year, so they do still have Europe and trophies back-to-back seasons. So Ten Hag should stay. I don't think he will in the end. I think Ineos will make a change, but who are they going to change him with? They're not going to get better. It's not like they're all of a sudden, I don't know, Pep is going to move over across city to United. It's not happening. Stick with Ten Hag for at least one more season.
All right.
They just got to get rid of all the diving. It just drives me nuts. Anyway, that's
when
my
it's
thing on
done
soccer.
at its worst. I get it, but I also see the gamesmanship in a little bit. And I will to take this to hockey. I think sometimes the Oilers could not dive. But you can embellish a little bit more for that call. You
Guys
can make it when Leon gets against the Canucks series, when Leon was getting cross-checked so much, sometimes it's okay to me to make it a little worse.
No, I'm talking about the guys
call.
who get their teeth knocked out, get a few stitches, and come right back on the next shift. Soccer guy would be out for like 3 seasons.
Sure. Sure. Well, they get up right away to go celebrate the goal after being down for 5 minutes, you know? But I no diving in hockey, but I think some embellishment sometimes can happen.
You want to
a
get
little
that
bit more.
penalty.
Because go get that. Then to me, that's the gamesmanship. If you're not getting those calls, if you're consistently not getting those calls, then try to force that the ref to put the arm up. Where when you get that slash, make your arm move a little bit more than you would to show I got slash or something. Or if that stick comes to your face and you get hit,
I'm with you.
Don't go back a little bit. Look like you're getting whiplash or something. And try to force the call. But like you get a little tap on the shin, don't be dropping.
Right. And the goalie embellishment is driving me nuts. My son's a goalie. He even drives him nuts. Like you can't even touch a goalie. Like there was one yesterday. It wasn't even close. The goal went in, the winning goal, right? You can't do that. It's just you should be able to give them a little nudge. And the guys doing the Michigan coming around the net, that's a full-on blocker in the face.
You don't want the hockey. You don't want the guys.
I like seeing that goal,
Yes.
but actually, if a goalie came up and blocker to players that are doing that, I actually would laugh at that.
You should be able to give the goalie a little bit of nudging. Not the Billy Smith days back in the days when
Ron Hextall days.
Ron Hextall days,
chases you
but
down in the corner and blockers.
you should be able to give the goalie a little bit of trouble, and the goalie should be able to take out the Michigan guys without any penalty.
If he's in the crease, the goalie should be able to get bumped. In your opinion?
No, not in the crease.
Okay.
But on just in the fringe.
Okay.
Right? Goalie's got his stick outside the crease and does a big sprawl because he got interfered with. Like, come on.
What's your knock on the Michigan? It's a big time skill play. Not everyone can do that.
I don't like the Hollywood stuff.
You don't like the Hollywood stuff?
No.
Okay.
No. It's once in a while. Or who's the guy that takes 10 minutes to come in on a penalty? My God. The goalie should be able to go out and just cross-check that guy right in the
If a
lips.
goal, and this is speaking again from a dad of a goalie.
Oh my!
That's where this comes from. If a goalie can go and be physical, it should be able to go both ways.
Yeah,
I feel like
fair.
when the goalie comes up out of his net, play up puck, there should be fair game to be hit too a little bit.
Oof.
I think there should be a line like, if you cross the face-off dot to go play a puck or something, you're now fair game. You're a hockey player at that point.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. But so, what about though the reaction? A guy hits the goalie. Okay, now it's a fight. Is that okay, or do you don't
I
that
think
should
if
be
it's a
fight?
cheap shot on the goalie, if you're in there whacking his hand and stuff, you're fair game to get retribution. But if what's an example like here?
Goalie goes out behind the net to play
Yeah.
the puck, and a guy comes in and thumps him. Fights on.
If he comes in on the side and gives him a little bump, but if he comes in behind him and just reefs him into the
behind's
boards,
different, yeah.
behind it, but it happens all the time, right?
Well.
These hits from behind are still happening.
Yeah, that's a fight. If you
That's a fight.
hit someone from behind,
Most
you
goalies
gotta
are so
jump 'em.
big now, they can look after
Well, and their
themselves.
equipment is so big, and yeah, they're not. They're
now
not.
you
getting
sound
hurt.
like Strutty.
Well, listen. That's
Okay.
it's. I don't know. I don't want to
Bring
sound
in
like
smaller
Strutty. I don't wanna
pads and
say-
bring back wooden sticks.
fair.
I would love to see wooden sticks
You know what?
back.
Because even guys in my Shady Beer League, excuse my language, to all the kids watching, but they can shoot the puck with these new sticks. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like the torque coming off those new sticks, everybody can shoot the puck hard now.
It's like why in golf they have these. Everyone can hit those golf balls, and we need to roll back those golf balls.
Got to roll back. Yeah,
Roll back the
technology is so.
Anyway,
everyone's
minimal
bombing at
goalie
300.
contact. Sure.
The problem is that when you go to replay, that reviews, I should say, that's where it's because the rules are so black and white. That's where the goalie interference reviews
But
are
they
always going
aren't
to be
black
weird.
and white.
But it's if you if you touch a goalie, that's in theory goaltender interference. So when you go to review, it's how do you say, well, he hit him, so it has to be overturned, or it's goal interference. It can't be allowed as a goal, and that's where because before the reviews of goaltender interference, I think refs would be more of the gray areas. If you kind of gave a little bit of something, they're okay with that. It's the big obvious goaltender interferences that they would call. But the moment you go to reviews and you look at it, the moment you nudge a goalie, you just touch him lightly. By rule, by definition, it's goaltender interference,
If you're
and you got to
in the
call
blue
it back.
paint on your own and you
Yeah.
hit the goalie, that's interference.
Yeah.
If I knock you into my goalie, that's not
No.
interference. It's
Well, yeah, it shouldn't be, but sometimes that is.
I know, and that's the part that drives me nuts, right?
Oh, goalies and cooks. They're
What's wrong with cooks?
They're like goalies. They come from a different cloth. It's march to the beat of their own
Goalies
drum
and
a little
cooks,
bit.
I haven't heard that.
You
I haven't put those ones together before.
Goalies and cooks.
Run a
Any
restaurant.
cooks want to text in and comment on that?
When we get EST,
Tommy won't be
owning-
texting because he doesn't cook.
when we get EST Shanks open, and we have cooks working with us, you'll understand.
I'll enjoy the cooks. I'll enjoy them though, because I'll want the food. Always be nice to people that handle your food.
Okay,
Always be nice to those people.
Hero of the goat is a goalie. You know?
absolutely. Look at Stuart Skinner.
Yeah.
He gets raked over the coals for no good reason a lot, and he's just fine.
Last line of defense. Nobody talks about the forwards who gave up on a guy or
And they
the
should.
defenseman who coughs it up with a cross pass across the middle.
Yeah. Okay, talk me off a cliff here. We're talking some hockey. Blackhawks have number 2 overall pick.
Oh.
Ivan Demidov is what so many people are touting to my Blackhawks. Talk me off a cliff because I don't want Ivan Demidov. He plays in the garbage league in Russia. Doesn't even play in the KHL.
So what league does he play in?
Can't play in MHL or something.
Okay.
Can't play international hockey because he plays for Russia, so no one can really see him, and everyone's touting him up to be number 2 pick for my Hawks, my Tommy, my Hawks, and I don't get it. I don't want Michkov last year falls to whatever 7 or 8 to Philadelphia, I think, is where they drafted him because he's from Russia, and now people are touting my Hawks taking Demidov at number 2. I'm like, come on, I don't want Demidov at number 2. When is he going to come over? That's the other factor. When do guys come over from Russia? Do they come over? Too risky. At number 2, my Hawks cannot take Demidov. Nasty chatters, talk me off a cliff here. Why are people thinking
need you to
Demidov
chat with
number
Guy
2?
Flaming of the Pipeline Show because
I can't
Yeah, Guy
take
would know.
Demidov at number 2.
well, why not? Maybe he's going to be pretty. Maybe they know that he's going to come over right away.
Maybe he's the new Yakupov.
See, another reason why you don't take Demidov at number 2.
He absolutely doesn't want to hear there. He wants to be talked off the
I know.
ledge.
Yeah, and you're talking me more onto the ledge. Like here, I don't know. I don't understand why Demidov is touted to go at 2 to my Hawks right now. I don't get it.
I won't lie. I don't know enough about the prospects this year.
Well, that's
Too
'cause you're
focused
not-
on the Oilers.
I guess 'cause
They
you're
don't
not
have a
drafted
first
number
round
2
pick,
overall.
and they're not so it's one that I don't know. Celebrini's going to go 1. That's
Right.
the extent I know of the draft
And
this
then,
year.
so the draft starts at my Hawks because everyone knows
So
that,
trade it.
that no, they're not trading.
Trade
it.
down.
No,
I don't think that's done enough in hockey. Trade down, pick up another 2nd or 3rd round pick, and pick
Hawks
8th
have
or
enough
9th.
draft picks. We just got rid of one to move up in the 1st and 2nd round.
Find the next Datsuk. Sitting back there waiting,
Yeah, just load up on 6th round picks
waiting in the weeds.
and just draft a bunch of 6th round picks and see what happens.
No. I like all these 1st and 2nd round picks we got, thank you. But Demidov, I don't understand it. Don't pick Demidov at number 2.
I can't talk you off this ledge. I'm not going to lie. And he's pushing you more onto it because of the
I know,
Yakupov. So this was not helpful to you at all, Murray.
I know.
Thanks for bringing up Manchester United and making me feel good, but I
know.
can't
And now
reciprocate
I'm
right
like,
now.
I think he went to Yakupov's hockey school.
You shut it. No Demidov.
This just happening, I think. Rafael Nadal losing in straight sets first round of the French Open.
Oh.
Which is just not something you see. And that might be it. Like, I don't know how much more. There's a lot of talk that this was going to be his final French Open. And it might come to an end with an L. Somebody has his lifetime record at the French Open. It's just all W's except for 3 L's. 4 L's. I see 4 L's
In
there.
his
Like, there it is.
career?
That's him at the French Open.
Oh, my
His
goodness.
record there. Like, he's just dominant there. And then, losing in straight sets, coming off an injury. This also coming in from Gazzola, Rupe Hintz, game time decision according to Pete DeBoer. So he's going to be a game time decision. And this also now coming from NHL player safety. Jacob Trouba been fined $5,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA for his elbow, which I think is fair.
Right. Now, PK Subban will be losing his mind because he thought the guy should be, deported. Like,
it's a perfect, I think, penalty for Trouba, where it's, as we said earlier in the show, you're starting to be noticed as a guy with a reputation. Here's the first warning shot at him. And maybe 5,000 people say it's not a lot, but here's first warning shot. You do it again type thing, it's going to be a game. So watch it, Trouba. Be a little more careful with what you are doing.
But the fine is ridiculous, too. Like, it's not even a pack of gum for those guys.
$5. It's like $5 to a normal person. Yeah. What? But he's already on the radar. If that's regular season, that's 5 games, isn't it?
It's at least a game.
I don't know. I would suggest no still probably because of the player he is and then who he is. It's Trouba. Like, it's
because it's Trouba. That's why I think it's 5 games. How many times has he been suspended now?
Has Trouba?
Twice.
At least twice, isn't it?
Jacob Trouba. I don't know how easy it is to find suspension history.
Yeah, he's
the textures.
He's right on the radar for.
Now
he's been suspended twice and fined twice during his NHL career.
Yeah,
but I don't know when the last time he would have been suspended.
That Ranger series is
suspended 2 games earlier this year in January. I guess.
But all that goes aside in the playoffs.
Sure, like, and we all know that
you get your get out of jail free card in the playoffs. Right. So he's got his fine now. So if he does something else, he'll get a suspension. One game.
Oh no, sorry, I won't read it. It's just very talking off the ledge. Don, you should jump. When it comes to the Blackhawks there. I love the wording in this texter from Bones. I love how the wording includes maximum allowable fine. Yeah. Because otherwise everyone would be upset about the 5 going, what's $5,000? I'm surprised at that. Yeah. I wonder what the rationale is as to why 5 is the maximum allowable. And it's not like per like a percent or something, and then why it's only 5,000. Because obviously 5,000 is going to be a lot for that player that's making, $500,000 or something like that. They're not. Their career earnings aren't as much.
Yeah, no one's making $500,000.
600 or whatever the minimum. Yeah. But when you're making 5, 6, 7 million a year, that's
like $5.
It's nothing. But I'm just intrigued.
It's probably a tax write-off for them.
Oh yeah.
Somehow.
Duck Dad saying this draft is so bad the Hawks should offer every 2024 pick they have to the Sharks to pick first.
Ooh.
Big Slam Nasty prospects. What are those? Oilers are winning the cup. How things have changed in this city. 10 years ago, we were all pumped about the drafts, and now it's who cares about those things? Those are for chums.
Stinking draft.
Well, last year, I think I told this story before on the Hangout, but last year, I'm at an Oiler playoff game in a McDavid jersey. The draft lottery's happening before the game starts, and my phone's blowing up as Blackhawks or Ducks getting the pick. So everyone's texting me. I've got it on my phone, and I just blurt out, "Yeah!" And I just started screaming like crazy. Everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on?" We got Bedard, and everyone's like, "We got Bedard." Sorry, I'm a Blackhawks fan, but that was pretty exciting.
Well, I think everybody had liked Bedard, but
yeah, just like McDavid, I was on a train going to a Eskimo game at the time when that happened, and I look on my phone, and the train is full of people. So this is. Before, because now the trains are empty when you go to football games. But anyways, I scream, "Oilers get McDavid," and the whole train erupts with joy and laughter, and it's all good. that's exciting times.
I laughed for I think 30 minutes straight. Like I just didn't stop laughing because I thought it was like the funniest thing ever. That like the entire hockey world was pissed off at the city of Edmonton for getting McDavid. I just thought it was the greatest thing ever.
You just got to tune in TSN when that happens because
It was hilarious.
the crying is
And
relentless.
And I didn't like how like there were some people that were like mad that everyone was mad the Oilers got him, but I was like, embrace it. Like you just laugh at those people because they're jealous of you, and that's what it comes from.
Exactly.
So enjoy it and just laugh that you got McDavid and they don't. And
We get
yeah,
to
it was
watch
great.
the greatest hockey player in the world firsthand.
Absolutely.
I mean,
For people of a certain age, you got to watch Wayne Gretzky and that entire '80s Oilers. And then you've come to now, you get Connor McDavid and Leon
Edmonton's
Draisaitl.
been spoiled.
And then you look at it, and then of the Eskimos of that, you know, with Warren
The
Moon
hockey
and all of
god
that, the great quarterbacks that have come
has
through this
bestowed
city,
fortune on us.
Matt Dunnigan, Damon Allen, Ricky Ray,
Warren Moon, greatest ever.
Warren Moon. You know, you go back to Jackie Parker in those days where he did both sides of the ball.
Okay, that's before me.
That's before a lot of people. But the fact that Edmonton could say they were home to Jackie Parker, Hugh Campbell now he was a player with the Rider, but in terms of as an executive, how dominant he was here. Glenn Sather, as dominant as he was as an executive here. Like Edmonton is very small, and I laugh because I don't have any sympathy for the city of Calgary. I just like, but imagine being a Calgarian and you go, of a certain age, we just had to go through Gretzky and Messi and those Oilers, and now they get McDavid.
Yeah,
now they get we don't get any of those guys. Why can't we get one of those? Like I just screw Calgary.
The team that really got hurt by that was the Jets back in the day because they were a really, really good hockey team. And then
That's what I've heard.
They had to get through Edmonton and Calgary.
And that's they had to go through both and couldn't do it.
And not a
luck.
chance.
Yeah.
It was Death Valley.
Yeah, Dale Howard, Chuck years.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he's
Still
so
one of my
good,
favorite
eh?
hockey players ever.
I have sympathy for the city of Winnipeg. I have a zero for the
Going to
city of
Winnipeg.
Calgary.
I'm with
Great.
I lived
We
in-
all still remember that commercial.
I lived in Calgary 14 years. Both
Yeah?
my kids are born there. The city's great. It's just clueless hockey fans. And the Stampeders. Oh my God.
Ugh.
Yeah.
If a place
Don't
needs
at
a new
me.
stadium, it's going to be Calgary.
They're
new
getting a new
stadiums.
stadium.
Not football.
I thought they were
Arena.
doing some kind of a combined thing.
No, that was the initial project. It was called Calgary Next, I think it was called.
okay.
That was one of the
Well, that's
early
too bad, 'cause-
designs. It was the hockey rink connected to a field house, but the field house turns into a stadium for the Stamps games. And that quickly was thrown away. And now they're just getting the arena. And there's no word of what's happening with the stadium for the Stampeders.
Well, that's too bad because that is a hole.
Yeah.
Although I stand by great sight lines though. When you're sitting in those seats, it's actually a really good view of the game. Everything though about it is just trash beyond that. I've heard rumblings. I think maybe Danny Austin from Calgary had it because that's a UFC facility.
Yep.
They're going to build a new stadium for the Dinos, but it's not going to be a big enough one for the Stampeders. So don't know what's going to happen to the Calgary Stampeders when it comes to that. And that needs to get sorted out at some point, I
Yes,
think.
it does, yeah.
They've got the ownership group. They have Flames own them, so you're gonna have to figure that out. But
My favorite T-shirt from U of A was "Friends don't let their friends go to UFC." Crush the Dinos.
we've got a new contest here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We want to qualify people and get you to possibly one of 25 contestants to win the fun $100,000. It's Swing to Win with Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by a Golf Town. Swing big this Father's Day and find dad or yourself the perfect gift at Golf Town. Whether dad's a seasoned pro or just starting out, Golf Town has everything he needs to hit the greens in style, clubs, apparel, accessories, tech. They've got you fully covered. It is the go-to Father's Day gift, I think, is getting the dad the Golf Town gift card and stuff like that. Dad could choose whatever he wants if you get him a gift card of great brands, Callaway, TaylorMade, Puma, Nike, Garmin. The gift of golf this Father's Day. Visit Golf Town in-store, golftown.com for more details. I always love going on their website. I'm not going to lie.
Are you taking your dad out to the ranch for Father's Day?
I'm not golfing right now. Still with the labrum.
Oh, your
So I'm
shoulder,
still,
yeah.
I'm going to be a terrible son this
I
Father's Day, I
I forgot
guess.
about your shoulder. That's right.
I will golf with him this year. Like I will make sure I golf with him at some point this year. He'll be one of the few.
That's taking a long time to recover. You're like
I'm letting it be.
You're like a soccer player.
Oh, yes.
Just had to go take that shot at that extra shot at
He's
soccer
just
right there.
digging on us both right now.
Just going
Holy.
at us.
I watched the Brady
He's-
rant. I'm
he's-
kind of
He's got the Messier going in him. He's feeling like if he wanted to be like Mark Messier and stuff like that. No, I do love going to the Golf Town website though. Just I always go and just skim through things, and I think next year I'll probably get a new set of irons. Maybe I'll have to come to the TaylorMade Performance Center.
Oh my,
good idea.
To get things, because all I've heard is the fitting does a world of difference.
Unbelievable.
But if you want to qualify for the chance to go into today's draw to be one of 25 contestants with the chance to swing for $100,000, what you have to do right now is text 780-218-9999-T. T as in a golf T. T-E-E. Text that to 780-218-9999. We got to do it accurately. And on YouTube, we put it up there. So for the audio listeners, want to make sure. I don't want TA coming in.
I hear you.
I don't want just the letter T.
Or just a T.
You know?
That was so creative,
T,
though. You're so
T-E-E.
creative with these
It's
words,
golf, baby. I'm using... What golf word should I use today?
Wow, Tiger.
Don't worry, that's coming.
Okay,
that's
good.
in the list. I'm not going to go with the big stuff day one.
Well, you're
Maybe
probably
day
going to
2 or
throw
maybe
me
day
under the
3.
bus on my show with some crazy, terrible words, aren't you?
No.
No, you're going to give me good stuff.
I'm just trying to I think I got you some words that I feel confident that you'll know them, but I don't trust the other shows to know them because you're the golf guy.
All right.
So that's where I think
Divot.
maybe.
People will have trouble with divot.
Do I have divot? I better have divot in there. I should have divot in there. Text to TTE to 780-218-9999. We'll get in touch with one of you. You will then be in the draw tomorrow morning on the morning show. We'll call one of the 4 people that qualified today. The winner of that draw, they will be one of 25 contestants who have the chance to possibly swing for $100,000 July 3rd at the Ranch Golf and Country Club on hole 17, 180 yards out. What would you use 180 out?
8 iron.
I've already...
What are you going to do? Are you going to scull it?
Let's put that baby right 2 inches from there.
8 iron from
you wanna get it in?
180.
Take a 7 maybe
8
in the
iron
loft.
from 180.
Maybe he's got power with his 8
I
iron.
know. Like, wait, what kind of steroids
No, but
are
then
you on?
I'll 3-putt. I can hit it a mile, but I can't putt.
Do you use a tee on hole par 3s?
Little stubbies.
Yeah, you just
find
put a little
broken
off?
One, yeah.
I don't like it off the grass.
Oh, wow.
Off the deck on the tee.
Take
Take that little extra.
Is a perfect lie. Off the grass is not a perfect lie. So you got to give yourself a perfect lie. 8 iron from 180. You realize I'm a pro. I don't hit the ball that far. That's crazy. Yeah, I want to know what you eat for breakfast.
I'm like Homer with the Wonder Bat.
I want to know what you eat for breakfast.
Well done. That's a great episode. You weren't into The Simpsons much at all.
No.
If there's an episode to watch, I would say that would be one of the episodes to watch.
Many. I mean, we could do a whole.
I'm trying to go through Bob's Burgers from the start to finish.
Okay.
I'm into season 4 right now, so I need to finish season 4, and there's 14 of them, so I got to watch them all.
What's Bob's Burgers?
An animated show as well.
Okay.
Like it's about the family burger business that they have.
Okay, no wind to 7 iron.
No.
I think I always been thinking about that.
Yeah.
But I do want to get into watching The Simpsons start to finish, because there's a lot of episodes I've never seen of the newer stuff, and I know it's not as same as like 2 through 10, but I do one day want to watch all of them. And that's, I think, going to be like a 2-year-long project, maybe a 3-year-long project. There's a lot of episodes.
There's a few seasons that are meh, but pretty good writing.
The Conan years.
The Family Guy is unbelievable.
Futurama's great. American Dad was strong for a long time. And then South Park is one of my favorites.
South
Just
Park's unbelievable.
absolutely love South Park.
There's so many on the fringe episodes there.
Oh, yeah, speaking of offside stuff,
McFarlane is... No, he's not. He's a Family Guy.
Yeah, I know it's Matt Stone, Trey Parker.
Right.
That's what and they did I never ended up actually going to see it, and I regret that I didn't, but they did Book of Mormon, the Broadway show.
So good.
And I missed that one.
So
and
good.
Hopefully one day I could find a way to go watch it, but
So good.
I want to go see that one.
So
Those guys are just the best.
really.
It's one of the reasons actually why I liked watching when the Oilers took on the Kings, because Cartman you'd hear him in the background, they'd have Cartman come up and "Go Kings, go" chant. And I just love Cartman, so when I hear Cartman, "Go Kings, go! Go Kings, go!" I just loved it. It's the best. I know Oiler fans hated it, but I absolutely loved it. You don't know.
You got too much time on your hands, I guess. You got to start working for a living or something, Maddie.
That's what, but the best thing is I have a TV in the office. You throw something on while you're doing work,
And there you go.
plays in the
It's
background.
multitasking.
And plus, it's
You should have EST on in the background when you work.
on my computer.
See, that's what everyone's listening right now. They're all working. They're listening to us talk about sports.
Yeah. And then you have the TV that was something else. I can multitask. There's a lot that can happen, Murray. I've built it that one. So,
Did you see the Family Guy when Kiss came to town and Lois, this is his wife,
yes.
slept with every guy in the band? Fantastic.
What
kind of show is this?
It's hard to explain. It's not there. And you're a big Kiss guy, aren't you?
Well, that was my first concert.
Yeah.
My cousin snuck me in about 1978. So
Snuck you in.
yeah, my dad was working at the Lions booth at the exhibition grounds, and my cousin took me over to Kiss, and I didn't realize what that smell was until after that. And
How old were you?
I was pretty young. Shit, I was 13, maybe 14.
Well, I knew what that smell was by the time I was 13 or 14.
I was a sports. And I had an older brother who got in some trouble with that, probably.
You like your rock music. What's your type of favorite music, or do you not?
Do you
listen
really
to music?
want me to say that on? Because I'm gonna get through.
I went with my guilty pleasure on Friday, and I said it, and I was a little worried. But Olivia Rodrigo is one of my artists I'm listening to a lot right now.
She does that vampire song,
yes.
doesn't she? So great voice, and I love that song.
And she's it's her second album. I actually am fallen in love with it. It's a great album. So there's, to me, music's music. Whatever you like, you like. I don't think there's any reason to criticize it. So feel free. What's your
ballads?
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I'm a ballad junkie.
Love that.
Billy Joel.
Oh yeah, Billy Joel's good.
Billy Joel.
Chicago, Air Supply,
Okay,
Journey.
They did the little special of Billy Joel, the last show or whatever.
He
at
was
MSG.
in New York. He was doing
Because he did his residency, but they
residency.
filmed. There was a TV special just a few weeks ago, and I recorded it. I still haven't gone to watch it.
You
Love
like
Billy
Chicago?
Joel.
Like the band?
So, yeah,
Okay,
Peter Cetera.
so there's
so good.
this lady tweeted out, she had the Beach Boys doing backup singing for Chicago on this song. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what. Now
I'm more of a, I like everything too, but I'm going to Metallica here in the summer.
Both or just the one?
I think I'm going to the one. I'm not going to both. I've seen them, I don't know, 20 times.
It's a fascinating little concert that they're doing because they're not playing the same music both days,
Right.
and it's
I went
it
to
should
see
be
Kiss
great.
last time they were here.
Yeah.
Right their final show, and they put on just a solid rock and all the lasers and the explosions
thing that-
and all the things. Right?
You need to put on a good show.
They're not the best musicians on earth, but
you don't have to
they're
be.
awfully good.
Me, Eric, and Zach, we went to Guar.
Okay.
They're not the greatest musicians ever, but it's a show that they put on, so it's fun to go see. I do stand by if you don't like any songs of a band, don't go see them. But if you like a few Coldplay songs, I think Coldplay is one of the greatest live bands you'll ever see.
Oh, wow.
They put on a show start to finish the entire time, so they keep you entertained.
I liked Yellow. That was about the only Coldplay song I liked.
That was from their early years, and I do miss those years. I hope they do an album with that sound a little bit. But there's nothing wrong with ballads.
Yeah, so I'm Ed Sheeran, Adele.
Oh, I
that's
love
my
Adele.
kind of
I would
Go
love
see
to go
Adele.
see Adele in
Adele's
Vegas.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
That voice,
such a good singer. Yeah,
it's
And she's funny as heck. She's
Yes.
really, really funny.
and a little raunchy with that stuff. Like she's not afraid to be
Oh, no.
little.
Well, she's a total potty.
Still, the Stevie Nicks though is my favorite voice.
78 years old now.
Stevie Nicks is 78.
She's
Holy.
just the best. Like I got to go see Fleetwood Mac when they came here that last time. There was no Lindsey Buckingham, but just getting her voice.
It was
is
the guy.
Just, that was the point.
What's his name from Crowded House? Was playing guitar, wasn't he?
So they brought in two. So they brought in Tom Petty's guitarist Mike Campbell,
brilliant guitar player.
and then is it Neil Finn?
Neil Finn from
Finn. They had those two part of it.
Crowded House and what was there? Split Ends.
And Tom Petty is he became my favorite artist. He's my absolute favorite now. I didn't get to go see him, but Stevie Nicks sang, I think, Free Fallin' with Mike Campbell on guitar. As like the best way to hear a Tom Petty song live without Tom Petty now was his best friend and his guitarist
Don't
doing it.
Stop
That's
knocking
good.
my heart around. That was Stevie Nicks and Tom.
yes.
Petty, right. So
No, Stevie Nicks' voice, to me.
Tom Petty wrote that, and he's God bless. We miss him.
Oh, big time. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with being into ballads.
I know.
It was Dave Grohl who had a big thing once about he doesn't believe in like guilty pleasure music or whatever. It's just whatever people are into is they're what into. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, or it is what it is. If you like something, you like it. Who cares?
Yeah.
The Bee Gees. I mean, those guys sing without horns. It's unbelievable, right? I'll give respect to anybody, like even Taylor Swift, super talented.
Oh,
girl,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah. Some stuff that
Can't knock her. I know Tom Gazzola is a big Swiftie. He's got all her posters and stuff at home probably. And
But you guys know the band Pentatonics?
yeah,
I've heard of them. Yes.
Pentatonics with no instruments. Their instruments are their mouths, and they've got guys like playing drums with their like that. That stuff to me is so impressive. How talented
they've done
they are.
some Christmas stuff.
Christmas
They're
stuff,
very,
yeah,
very
I
good.
like that. I like that all type of stuff.
I saw. I'm fortunate to be around a while. I've seen a lot of original, like the Eagles, the original lineup. It's sad now for me. You see, like Foreigner came the other day. They don't have an original member of the band playing anymore.
Yeah.
I think they should call it the Foreigner tribute concert or something.
like that.
There's got to be at least, you would think, a member
You
kind
gotta
of the
have.
band.
I mean, the guitar.
Guar has no one.
No.
But it's the show. It's not the
Yeah,
band member. You're not
I-
there for the music for Guar.
I get that, but
But-
if you're not the original
Yes.
band, play at River Cree or wherever. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have a good night. Here's some tunes that you like.
You have to have someone that's part of the band.
Yeah.
Or that was part of the creation of the songs and all of that.
Like
Otherwise,
Chris
you are
Perry
a tribute
hasn't
band.
or not Chris Perry. Perry hasn't sung with Journey for 30 years.
Well, and
But the
even
guy they got
Chicago,
is
when
very
Peter Cetera left Chicago, I mean, to
Right.
me, they were never the same again.
Right.
Yeah.
No, totally agree.
Congratulations to Trevor Kay. He is qualified. Keep your phone on tomorrow morning because you might get a call from the Morning Boys saying you're going to be one of our contestants. Teeing it up for a $100,000 hole-in-one at the Ranch Golf and Country Club as part of Swing to Win with EST presented by Golf Town. Before we wrap up here, prediction for Game 3 tonight. You got one? Murray?
3-2 Oilers.
Dawn?
Yeah, I can't see these being over 4-goal games, so I was kind of in that 3-2 Oilers, but because you said that, I'll go 4-2 Oilers.
Empty netter.
There you go.
Empty
Empty
netter.
netter.
Yeah.
DCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show tonight. Tom Gazzola, 5 o'clock live from Hudson's White Ave. He'll also have the post-game show, so be sure to tune back later tonight for Edmonton Sports Talk for full coverage before and after the game. But coming up next, it is the Lock Shop, Dusty and Huss. Another chance to qualify for the chance to be a part of the Swing to Win with EST $100,000 hole-in-one presented by Golf Town. And at noon, it is the Oil Stream. Any idea golf show up next week?
Yeah, I got it all sorted out. I mean, Jordan Jeske's going to be on the show.
Project Golf?
From Project Golf. I can't remember everybody that's on right now. That's what I'm doing when I leave here. I'm going back to get everything set up for the week. But, it was a great show this week. If you go back and listen, we did a big segment on mental health with Grayson Murray taking his own life.
Wow.
30-year-old PGA Tour two-time winner. Played in the tournament this week, withdrew on Friday partway through and took his own life. And, so we did a big segment on mental health, which is, very important. And so take a listen to the VIP Golf Show on that segment. And, if you're struggling with something, reach out and get some help.
100%.
It's important.
Don Ellis, friend of EST, Contemporary Office Interiors, COI.BZ. If you're looking for any sort of office furniture, they're the places to go. Beautiful stuff. Also helping out with Kids Sport, the big Edmonton Sports Talk night with Kids Sport, which is Bids for Kids, June 19th at the Bell in Scona. Kids Sport, bidsforkids.com for more information. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you. And get out and support Kids Sport and some of these other organizations. They do a lot. Blair Oak did a little Kids Sport thing a few years ago out at the ranch.
Oh, Kids Sport St. Albert has a golf tournament at the ranch every year. So, yeah, it's a good organization, no question.
If you have a golf tournament, you want to be at the ranch. Otherwise, what kind of golf tournament are you putting on? Thanks to everyone for tuning into the EST Hangout today, presented by Hoots. Up next, it is the Lock Shop on behalf of Don, Murray, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in today. Enjoy the Oiler game tonight. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as on YouTube. Bye now.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today